Hey guys, welcome back to the Anime Collector and welcome back to the Open Chest Anime Podcast with me and my co-hosts who seem to have stepped out the screen, so I'm going to go to FDDNM. Oh, I can't see you because
it's always. Thank you very much. And the person who always takes the pep out of peppermint snops, FDDNM.
All right.
I don't know what that means. Hello.
You ruined drinking.
That's it for me.
The little windows at the bottom, mine is widescreen. It's the full res. Your guys's are cropped into a box, and Augie is sitting all the way over here. So
because
it's like,
when I talk and it shifts to me, if it's shifting, I'm over here, and YouTube keeps cutting. When
I was going to click, I couldn't even see you. Anyway,
there's a reason for that, Brad.
So let's. I want to give you guys something for opening discussions real quick. First of all, Premiere fan tickets are sold out, so we're gonna stop talking about those. I really hope I can get press pass for Anime Expo this coming year. So real quick, I just want to give you guys. Well, I guess there's two things I got to tell you. So first of all, there's a new message that YouTube has given creators when you go to your like video manager stuff. Update. Video annotations haven't been getting much love from viewers, so effective January 15th, we'll no longer be showing them. Fuck you.
I thought that was already
YouTube. Well, no, they removed your ability to use them to add new ones, but the old ones were fine. Now, disappearing, taking them off the platform altogether. So all my old videos, especially my tip videos, which were designed around using annotations, are fucked. Now, one other thing I just want to get through real quick. In the past, I had let you guys know that there was some financial stuff going on that got kind of shaky, and I started to worry a little bit that the podcast might not be able to continue. But I made like 12 grand last month working a job, so it looks like we're going to be pretty good, probably well into next year, just because I have other stuff that's lined up. So the podcast is doing pretty good. Now I guess we should go to pickups. Who wants to go first? Yeah.
Maybe I should go first. So for this time for pickups, I've always had this small table set my stuff down. So this time, because of the festive season, and people won't let it be December until they do this, but luckily we're letting it be December while the podcast happens. I'm going to make a Christmas tree out of my pickups. So there we go. So not beginning on the Sentai sale, we have all 4 volumes of Mermaid Forest. Now moving to the Sentai sale, we have Guardian Ninja, Mamoru, Devils and Realists, Ingetsune, Messenger Fox of the Gods, and Medaka Box Complete Collection. Boom.
Before you continue real quick, I want to get something going in the chat. By the way, my chat disappeared.
Uh-oh.
That's interesting. Let me pop this out again. I've got the second window up. I just want to mention that we have 2 more podcast watch clubs lined up, and then we have nothing planned for January. So I wanted to get some feedback from you guys, what you might be interested in us doing for some future podcasts going into 2019. And I thought of that because you guys brought up Gingetsune, which my wife had me buy, like, I don't know, last year sometime, and she's been interested in seeing it, so I have it, and we could do that if you want. But
I'm gonna lock back on, Scotty.
Yeah, it's been on you the whole time.
Next up is Loco Doll, Myself, Yourself, and for some reason, Love, Alternative Total Eclipse. Which out of these 4, I do not recommend this one.
What did you say? Which one won't you recommend?
I would not recommend Total Eclipse / Muv-Love.
I would not recommend Myself Yourself because I heard that it's terrible. Anyway.
I haven't watched that one, so I don't know. Next up is Nobunaga the Fool, Collection 1 and 2, and Hakanden 8 Dogs of the East.
You know, I just realized
1 and 2. What's that? What do we got?
I put the wrong thing in the watch club section of this description because it was missing from the doc. So I added it to the doc and then instinctively put it in. Oh no, I did put the right one. Never mind. I guess I did it right. Anyway, yeah,
all is well in AC's world. Next up is Chihaya Fura, an intrigue of the Bakumatsu Inorihan Iho Heto. I butchered that all together. 1 and 2. Boom.
That's one good looking Christmas tree you got there.
Oh, it's going to grow. One is not from the Sentai Cell, and I finally got a Mayu. Also, Monochrome Factor, Momokuri, and Windy Tales. Boom. This one not from Sentai Cell, this one from Sentai Cell. Back it up. Boom. Ooh. Following up, we have Flowers of Evil, Nakaimo, My Little Sister is Among Them, Magical Warfare, and Gourmet Girl Graffiti. Boom. And FDDNM, you better remember the headaches from this one.
Which one? I see Shiny Glare.
Oop.
The headaches from... Just tell me which one. Flowers of Evil?
Boom, there you go. Animated like an MTV music video.
Yeah, I did not.
Up next is Gintama the movie, because I'm going to wait for Funimation to release season 1.
You mean not release it because they're not partnered with Crunchyroll anymore?
That doesn't matter.
I hope it doesn't matter either.
Nasuyuki Rendezvous, Suritama, and Salfini.
You thought it was Japanese. Give him a break.
There's 4 right there.
No, I just think I remember playing Perfect Dark as a kid and with my best friend at the time, and he was always reading it as Rendez vows.
Next 4 lineup is Wizard Bastiers, which to me looks like it was animated from Miso Forte, Love Stage, Tari Tari, and Norn 9. Boom. Next up, we have Real Wars, Wish Upon the Pilates. I butchered that one. Lydias. La Coranda Doro Blue Sky, and La Corona Doru Primo Paso. Boom.
Why can't I hit enter? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. There's a 200 character limit on chat.
Dang, you're yelling.
I'm gonna have to split this into two messages here.
So up next is a favorite from AC, IQ, season 1 and 2. IQ,
yeah.
Hamatora, and Rehamatora. Look at the orange and green and all its glory and tackiness.
I don't think there's the dub on the DVDs of Haikyuu.
Yes,
there is?
Yeah.
It's probably the re-release DVDs.
Are those the
They released the second set of
the
DVDs.
re-release where they put them? Yeah, I have the original.
Yeah, it probably is.
So that's the $2 extra you had to spend on the sale. So up next is Sword.
I can answer that.
Oratoria, or is it wrong to pick up a dungeon Is it wrong to
Yeah,
pick up Girls
to
from
pick up a
Dungeon spin
dungeon.
off an OVA?
Otaku, so it's because it's
Samurai Girls.
I already answered.
And I'm Sakamoto. Haven't you heard? I'm Sakamoto, which is like a optimistic Beavis and Butthead. Ooh.
Okay, all right. I have to ask because of the fact that your Christmas tree hasn't started tapering. How much more do you possibly have?
We're
That's a
halfway
good
through the
question.
DVDs. Yami Shibai,
Ghost Story.
Japanese Ghost Story, the Kawaii Complex Guide to Manners and Hostile Behavior.
I approve.
Shotacon is always useless, listless, and well, he is useless. And a DVD copy of Flying Witch because I don't want to open the limited. Boom. Oh, there we go. Up next, we have Guguri Kokyuri-san, Tawano Kyuon.
Tawanapon.
Exactly. Blue Spring Ride and Aoharu Machine Gun or Aoharu X Machine Gun.
Just imagine if it was Blue Spring Re-Day.
So we have Student Council's Distraction, Volume 1 and 2, Majestic Prince Complete Collection, and The Perfect Insider. Boom.
I want to watch The Perfect Insider. That cover's got me interested.
Same, but
It
I
has
know
that
nothing about
insert famous artist, Hesher.
MC Escher?
Yeah, MC Hescher. Or David Bowie in The Labyrinth, if you want to imagine that scene instead. Whichever way. Up next, we have Samurai Jam. Sasami Sam and Gamba Rani, Batum, and invaders of the
Roku Gyoma.
Gyoma.
Roku Gyoma.
Roku Gyoma. Ah.
Yeah, I practiced.
That sounds like it's almost a pickup someone might have had or had to say earlier. Then Kids on the Slope, The World is Still Beautiful, Meganbu, Meganabu, and The Good Witch of the West. Boom.
I'd hate to know what the other side off camera looks like.
Yes,
Stacks.
seriously.
Stacks. Just stacks.
I'm waiting for him to start turning them the other way so that they're the next level of, width. And then you can start eventually stacking just a single DVD instead of the 4x4.
Up next is Kamigami no
Asuboy.
Asaboy, Love, Election, and Chocolate.
So that show that was airing this season, Asobi, is it Asobase? Is that the title of the show?
I don't even know which show you're talking about.
What are you talking about? We've been talking about a maid show for a while.
Come on. It's like a ridiculously popular show right now. I'm trying to. Okay, so I'm asking because for some reason, whenever I usually default to the Japanese pronunciation of things, but every time I see that written out, I always read it as Asobi Asobase. But it is. I just checked on Wikipedia so I could see the hiragana. It is Asobase.
Beautiful Bones and
forgive me for being
Hazuki's
wrong on the season.
Cold-headedness, which is one I would not recommend. Unless you just like goldfish with red afros.
Can you spell that in chat? Oh, never mind.
The next four is Sidebrain. Season 1 and 2, volumes 1 and 2.
It's Fibrain, right? That's an H.
Fibrain.
Fibrain would make more sense.
How is this show super popular? I never heard of it.
It's a comedy that's like there's a scene. I haven't watched it, but I see Twitter like videos of it constantly. There's an episode where the girls are like fighting in the bathroom or something. The girls' bathroom, and there's an actual like water fight happening in there, and like water starts coming out the door, and the principal asks what's going on, and they say that one of the girls didn't make it to the toilet in time, so the principal drinks the water.
Oh God!
To find out if it's urine, and he like he calls them out on it. It's like, this doesn't taste like urine.
So next up is Tagami Bachi, Letter B and Reverse. Boom.
So regarding Lance's statement there, this is why you wait for the year-end Black Friday type sales.
Yep.
And this is also why Augie's buying the DVDs instead of the Blu-rays, because when you pay $1 less, times however many, that means you get that much more.
Up next is Renee.
Oh yes,
all 3 seasons.
I like how they went to
the volume 1 and volume 2.
Yeah, I like how they went to the 24 episode format afterwards.
Me too. Up next is All of Little Busters.
That's a nice way to sum it up.
I can't not think of the Pillow song when I see that title.
I just get that second opening theme to the game stuck in my head. So now up next is Neo Angela Q Abyss.
Neo Angelique.
Kiss. One more time.
Neo Angelique.
Thank you. Kimmy Kiss, Pure Rouge. The ultimate sell out of that whole sell is The World God Only Knows. Oh my God, that was amazing for that price.
I'm just gonna relieve you guys that I'm not gonna go through either of these boxes for pickups.
Is it back on me?
Yeah.
Valerian and Laureline, which is a movie I would not recommend, but I got the anime that's only dubbed in English. Boom. So we got bricks on top of here. Ajin and Dramatical Murder.
Dramatical Murder is a yaoi, by the way.
Ah, crap.
It's a bad yaoi adaptation.
Because
no
it doesn't have the dick biting.
What?
Yeah. Then Utano Prince Sama.
It's an adaptation of a light novel or a light visual novel, right?
Right there.
A light eroge.
Only
light.
Ooh. Magical Stella, A Spirit of the Sun, Bang Dream, Gengitsune.
Again?
Blu-rays. It's this one.
Yeah.
It's this one right
so
here.
now he's tapering to the top of the frickin' for the love of God.
Hey, I do not disappoint.
So, chat,
The
how you
Ambition
like
of
the
Oda Nobunaga. Inu X Boku Secret Service.
Oh, you're the
Inu
reason it's
Iron.
out of stock.
Okay. Grimoire of Zero and Made in the Abyss. Boom. Well, if you're talking about Inu X Boku, I had to order that somewhere else instead of Sentai. So, Gate, Persona 4, Volume 1 and 2. and Psychic Detective Yakumo.
Yakumo.
Boom. Yeah. The Dragon Dentist. Diabolic Lovers. More Blood. Trinity 7. I think half of this is watchable and half of it's not. You okay, AC?
Yeah, I'm holding back comments on Diabolic Lovers. I haven't seen it, but I watched. Lou Talks Anime makes a video like once every like 3 years, and that he hated that show so much that he decided to make a video about that.
Wow.
Which is actually why I bought it.
So, Nagima. Action Heron Cheerfruits.
Wait, which Negima?
The one with one exclamation point, not exclamation point, question mark.
Okay, season 1.
Frame Arms Girl, which I'm surprised that didn't get a limited edition considering how much of the models they're selling. And Battle Girl High School. Boom. Love Chinibyo and Other Delusions, season 1 and 2, and the movie, which is Rika version. Say I Love You. Adam the Beginning. Boom.
Another title I couldn't get because they were out of stock. Yeah, Otakaso wants to know how much you had to refinance your mortgage to do this.
I saved up during the year.
And he also saved from getting DVDs.
Account. Urara Michiro, number 6, Campon,
Another yaoi.
and Log Horizon season 1 and 2. Boom. Oh my god, I'm so glad Log Horizon has season 1 and 2 together. Like it should be. Oop. Needless. Yona Penguin. Amagami SS and Plus. Glass Mask. Boom. Hey, so you want to know the good news? Not done, but almost done. So we got Typhoon no Yura.
Does that mean you're about to start tapering your Christmas tree?
What do you mean tapering?
So that it's not the Twin Towers?
There's 4 there. Girlish Number. The Life of Midori Gusuko.
If there are any psychics watching, please knock down that tower.
Great Revolution. Dai Shogun. Boom. All right.
I apologize to any audio podcast listeners.
Initial D, 3rd volume. That won't go up there.
Yeah, Otakaso says, let me call Psyche K.
Oh, yeah. But as mentioned before, I had the library copy of Humanity Has Declined. Now I got a new copy.
The Augie copy.
By the way, just to verbalize it, I'm totally cool with doing Love Live in January if you guys want to.
Okay.
I don't own it yet.
Should we do
Glenn
just Love Live and then work our way into Love Live Sunshine before
Glenn add the movie.
before, because in February we have to do a romance and then an ecchi for our themes.
Tiger and Bunny, The Rising.
Regarding Love Live, Lance, I have both. I would probably start with what did Funimation relicense them, or is it's a Sunshine is the one that Funimation has, right?
Sunshine's the only one they have, I think.
Funimation has. NIS is still releasing the standard editions. Anthology.
I didn't even know they sold that with an art box that just had the one volume in it.
Rumiko Takahashi, they've had it right stuff for ages.
Really? I have that, but mine it's shrink wrapped with all the individual DVDs in it.
Yeah, they have both. Which I need.
Probably they've just been dying for people to get that out of there. Lance, there was a high school DxD thing on Right Stuff. That one
$69.
Yeah, I almost got that
until you realized there's 3 limited editions.
Well, the limited editions definitely changed my mind on it, but I thought I wasn't gonna have the finances to get that at the time. But then I got the notification after it was too late that my wire transfer had come or is scheduled to come in December from
Love Star Come the movie and Dororo live actions.
That mecha guy says if all that falls, he's going to be playing Kam Todd, the song from Ava. Mm-hmm. I actually have no idea how that's supposed to be pronounced now that I've never had to actually say it out loud.
Arm Girls Machiavellian, which is something FDDNM got, but what I really appreciate is it comes with a book for an art book instead of three pages just stapled together. The Devil
is not a part
2, which has
a
chrome
case,
holographic case, but if you peel it, it has a different case.
Okay.
And the star on the tree is Gunbuster sealed.
Oh.
So I'm just going to say your stack of DVD Christmas tree is almost as tall as my actual Christmas tree in my house.
See? Okay, so you take a picture.
That's definitely not going to be our thumbnail, just so you know.
I know.
Yeah,
I have a company Christmas card.
I'm going to be our thumbnail this week.
That'll work.
All right. So, FDDNM, would you like to show your very conservative small one thing that we decided as a group we would not be doing this 25-minute thing anymore?
You see, Brad, I actually allowed to have 600 pickups. So the first of
they're just all over here at my house.
Right. So let's see. First, totally safe for works is
it wrong to pick up girls? I love how he's waited all this time and now his connection's bad.
Is it wrong to kill? Oh my. Okay.
Is it wrong to kill?
So, is it wrong to kill girls in a hot spring this time? And then, actually, these two are kind of. We've talked about these. Both of these had 2 different artwork designs presented on Right Stuff and Funimation. And it just so happens that they chose both of the ones I didn't want them to use. So the first one we got is Real Life Final Arc. But thankfully they have the good art underneath the slipcase, but I mean still. And you know how you talked about how this design is good because it's got continuity with the original limited editions thing? Mm-hmm. It doesn't line up, so it looks bad either way. But I'm really happy to have this because I want to rewatch it and then get a conclusion. That's what I'm hoping. A good one. And then A Sister's All You Need. It looks the same underneath. And I've briefly tested to see if it's got uncensoredness. And there's a nip count of 0 as far as I can tell. But that shouldn't be your only factor in watching the show. What? Is it wrong to kill Foodnum's Spotlight?
Lance, they cost less than $9. Those are like $4.99. The DVDs. Just so you know.
And then this one, I pre-ordered it, and then Amazon's like, "Yo, we don't have it in stock." And I just ordered it on. No, I got it from a third-party seller instead of Amazon directly. Metropolis, the Steelbook edition.
Ooh, it's birdie.
Ooh. Actually, it's nicer to know that it's a real Blu-ray and not a whatever. And then the big kahuna. The mildly a tiny bit of damage aids in Abyss. Wait, which way does that go? Aids in Abyss because these buttons get in the way.
Yeah,
that's
so
why.
Real quick, I just want to ask: did it turn out to actually be a normal size thing, like I suggested it would probably end up being?
What do you mean? Look at it.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I'm saying it's gonna fit in a bookcase and not be this grossly oversized.
Is it wrong to kill girls in a dungeon? It's like this is slightly smaller than a DVD, like shortness wise, and I don't think it sticks out at all. It's like the same depth. But
Okay.
So I took a piece of bubble wrap, put some holes in it, and now they hang off the button on the side, so whatever's next to it.
Can you pop open the buttons and then just stick them inside the box? Oh no, because it has the receiving side of the button on there, huh?
And my brother pointed out to me that this one is a bit loose already, which is nice. And they have this label underneath that says "Made in Abyss." Again, not sure why it's there, but it actually looks freaking. Oh god, it looks really nice inside.
If that fell out and Augie's tower didn't collapse, that would have just been the worst.
But yeah, I like it because they actually give you the DVD Blu-ray case inside. So if you hate this enough, you can pull it out and have a normal size in your collection. I did watch this like the day I got it, and it was pretty much everything I expected. It's just there's no conclusion, so that's also what I expected. And that's all my pickups.
Okay, so for your guys' sake, I'm only going to go over one thing. I actually found this on my front porch. It was not expecting it at all. It's a Kickstarter that I talked about like a year and a half ago, I feel like, for Zunda Horizon.
That's what I was expecting.
And there's no barcode on this. And I think I'm the only one who bought the Blu-ray tier. So I wonder, I haven't opened it. I don't know that I'm going to, but I wonder if they made one just for me. Because I don't think anybody else backed this. And it also came with Yingda. It came with some, these are registration. Of course, I didn't lock the camera on myself. These are registration holes for animation. So they have a special hole puncher that you use, and then these sit on it, and that's how you film from the camera, or you put it in a scanner and scan each individual frame. Really, a phone call from Pennsylvania? Really?
At least that's in your country when it's Pennsylvania, unlike me.
Oh, give your numbers out to Pennsylvania, but not me. I see how you are.
I haven't even given my new number to my dad. Okay. All right. So this person is clearly a wrong caller, and my I haven't even set up my voicemail box so people can't leave me a message. Anyway, so there's another one here I haven't looked at yet. They gave me two in-betweens that are from the same scene. They might as well be identical. That's hilarious. I was gonna take them out and frame them, but they're literally pretty much the same image, except for her mouth has moved slightly. You see that? Like,
I can barely see anything on that screen.
I'm trying not to get the sticky part on the dang it on the paper.
Just use a bottle of Goo Gone.
Well, I'm gonna seal it back up. Hold on. I need to just rotate this around so that it's.
No, I'm just memeing pouring Gugon on your Genga.
Yeah. So, trying to get there we go. That'll be.
Oh, I do see it.
You see, so the mouth is just. That's hilarious. So, because of that, I will show you guys one other thing. And that is, for the love of God, I muted mentions on that tweet, and I'm still getting notifications about it.
Just put your phone on silent or something.
I'm just imagining FDDNM just typing messages on that one muted account. Or twat. Message.
So, whoa there, Augie.
Love Chunibyo and Other Delusions Take on Me.
Oh, because your copy actually wasn't canceled by Amazon, right?
I bought it from Sentai. I pre-ordered it. I put this in here, but I'm still not going to go over that. This came with, if you bought this, remember that this is not trash. This came with a film strip of the movie.
Wait, how'd you get it? It's supposed to come out in December. They pushed it back.
It came ridiculously early for some reason. I had this already last week, so it came with a film strip of 2 frames of the movie. No, that's more than 2 frames. That's like 4 frames, right? So let's see how I can. I'm gonna grab a white piece of paper so I can show you guys what it is. Oh, that didn't help at all. It's a 4 frames of them on a park bench, seen from behind. So that's the scene I got. And then I don't know if I'm going to actually. So Duo and I went to see this movie in theaters, and I have a really time-consuming, dumb idea to remake the Take On Me music video with scenes from the movie that lined up way too perfect for me to be able to ignore, that it's like a sign from God I should do it, but at the same time it's so much work and the video gets demonetized for using the song. So I don't know, it seems like not a good idea, but anyway, that's pickups over here. And
so quickly, Anthony, Otakaso, and Lance, thank you for the comments about the recent purchase I just made in the comments. Where's that one show? That one show y'all was talking about, Asobe. That's kind of like yeah, that one. That was pretty. I thought that was pretty funny when it aired last season, but pretty much imagine like a more crueler version of Azumanga Daioh, but with 3 girls instead. Or I guess, yeah, anyway. Moving on.
Okay. Let's go into articles. Just get some of these open real quick. All right. So we've got some convention news. Oops. Come on. There we go. Subaraya Pro, as in Productions, prepares to launch convention for fans in 2019. So Subaraya, known for, in this anime season, SSS.Gridman, and more commonly known for Ultraman, is starting a convention to give back to the fans. They said, what do they say? They said it will also serve as a place for the company to announce upcoming projects, or as they call them, new challenges. So what I find interesting about this is that it seems that the relationship they've developed with Studio Trigger for Gridman may result in more stuff coming from Subaraya, because they kind of have felt like, yeah, they do Ultraman and whatnot, but it lately has felt kind of like they've been sort of on the back burner. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of excited about where this might go in the future. But obviously we don't know anything yet other than, hey, we're doing a convention and we're going to start announcing more stuff. So
no location or venue?
Well, it's going to be in Japan.
Okay.
But I'm just
looking
forward to I've never gone to E3. Well, I actually don't care about E3 either, but I was going to say I've never gone to E3, but I still enjoy the news that comes out of it. But actually I don't. That's a terrible example. But other people do.
I was going to say if it was going to be in the U.S., it would probably be in Hawaii. But moving on to
live action Waiting for Spring films, short commercials have been streamed. So on the Warner Brothers Japan. I didn't watch any of these. Do you want to talk about them?
Well, pretty much for these, they went a little creative with this because it's owned by Warner Brothers, WB. So they pretty much took different properties and kind of parodied the story into it. Like you have one that's with friends, you have one that's a baseball version, one of the characters a Miku version.
Basketball,
baseball. Probably Space Jam.
Yeah. Huh.
So
I would let me check them real quick because we had an issue with Fox that one time because of Battle Angel Alita, so I don't want to show too much if I can help it.
So why I brought this up to attention is WB was the one that produced the live action Death Note movies, the original ones. I've noticed when they do a live action anime adaptation, it's generally pretty good. So it's nice to see that them being a producer is being more fun now.
Yeah,
at
but
least with the advertising.
Generally
it's not
speaking,
saying much fine.
Yeah, generally speaking, any Japanese live action is better received than the American counterparts.
Right.
Of which there are very few.
Well, this is WB Japan anyway.
Right. Yeah. So I'm just saying, like Fox, 20th Century Fox, not the news channel, Lance. It was Fox is the company that that copyright struck us on that one podcast, and I challenged it with legal action, and they backed off. So anyway. So I'm going to move on to the next one if everybody's done.
Please.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Tezuka's Barbara manga. I'm assuming that's Barbara, not Barbara.
I mean, is Barbara.
Well, it makes more sense for it to be Barbara because you can't in Japanese you can't end with an R unless it's got to be the name Barbara. It doesn't work anyway. But his son Makoto, who's super cool and writing his name without a K, is going to be directing it, adapting it. Okay. I just realized I didn't actually read this. So anyway, I think it's cool that the legacy is living on in his progeny. Let's just put it that way and move on.
Yep.
Root Letter visual novel to be adapted into a Hollywood film. Do you guys know anything about Root Letter?
No, so move on. No.
Now, if it's Root Search, I can talk a little about it, but not Root Letter.
So I was just shocked that something I had not even heard of. I feel like I've probably heard of it like in passing before, but it's never caught my attention. Is getting an actual Hollywood film for it. So I thought that was interesting.
Well, there is this isn't the first time this happened. I mean, you had the World That Ended Tomorrow. I botched that. I've never seen the movie. The one about the frozen apocalypse.
The
World's End
Apocalypse.
You talk about the movie all the time, AC.
Are you talking about Edge of Tomorrow, which has nothing to do with something being frozen?
All you need is kill.
Yeah, that book.
Yeah, that's Edge of Tomorrow, and it has nothing to do with the Frozen Apocalypse.
I've never seen
it. The Day
so
After Tomorrow, a completely different movie. Is that what it's called?
I haven't seen it, so
now I'm confused.
Can we?
I'm looking it up. Hold on. There's a Roland Emmerich movie or whatever called The Day After Tomorrow, right?
I'm pretty sure that's the one where everything goes frozen, blah.
Yeah, you're thinking of a completely different movie.
Probably am. Like I said, I've never seen it.
From the director of Independence Day, Roland Emmerich, right? Or anyway? Yeah, hold on. You're thinking of this movie with the Frozen.
Yes.
Yeah, that's. Yep. God damn this tweet! I wish I had never tweeted. I'm blowing up on Twitter right now over a dumb joke.
Hey, the feeling of being popular.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, but that's a little bit different. But you're right. It has happened before, but this is a visual novel, not a light novel. But yeah, I just think it's interesting that this is happening. So I'm going to be keeping an ear out for it. Edge of Tomorrow and Live Die Repeat. Yeah, no, they really botched that release. First of all, Edge of Tomorrow is a much more interesting title. Live Die Repeat is dumb, and I
think that's their slogan that they were trying to go for. But
no, they rebranded it that for the DVD release. They actually were, it's dumb. Anyway, Tony Jaa wields a giant sword in the live-action Monster Hunter promo.
I was gonna say that looks like Monster Hunter.
Yeah, so they're making a live-action Monster Hunter movie, and the original pictures that they had been putting out there, people were not at all convinced it was going to be a good movie. Because it just doesn't look like. Does this scream Monster Hunter when you look at it?
As someone who plays it every Tuesday, no.
Yeah, so now there's this one that looks a little bit more. I simply cannot see Mila Jovovich and not think that this looks like a sequel to her Resident Evil movies, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm thinking more Mad Max looking at it.
Well, but in one of the Resident Evil movies, doesn't it take place like they turned it into a Western for that one movie?
I don't know.
Anyway.
I just think that looks like you can't bring in a modern tank and weaponry into Monster Hunter. Why do you even have the sword?
It's going to be an isekai, watch. Anyway, so this is cool. So you guys might remember in the past, we've talked a little bit about Tony Jaa. This is the guy from Ong-Bak. And I had mentioned, like, what's he been up to? He's not doing anything. Like, I haven't heard any news about him. After the success of Ong-Bak, this is the conversation we had about how they were releasing movies over here that were easy to get licenses to that he was in, and they were putting him on the cover and portraying them like he was the main character, and in actuality he played a bit part for 1 minute in the movie kind of thing. Anyway, that Mecha guy says it was the third film, Resident Evil Extinction, that had the Western look. I think I've seen up to the fourth film. I don't remember the third film at all.
I don't remember many of them.
How many are there? Are there 5 now?
I think there's 5 or 6. 5. I haven't seen the last one or the final, whatever it's called.
I saw the one that was in 3D, and it was...
That's probably all of them.
Unbelievably bad. That was the one with this cracked me up so bad. The guy that they cast as Chris Redfield was the main character from Prison Break. And the funny thing about it is that if you've ever seen Prison Break, that character has a brother played by Dominic Purcell, who he's a big guy, and he would have made a much better Chris Redfield. But not only that, they took the main character from Prison Break, made him Chris Redfield, and locked him in a prison in that movie. All right, enough stalling. Netflix produces a live-action Cowboy Bebop series. I'm going to read this.
That's a much better... That's something that you would do for an anniversary, not the Woogie Boogie
Yeah,
box.
I'm going to read the article first so that we can just we all have the same understanding about where it's all coming from. So Netflix announced on Tuesday that it is producing a 10-episode live-action series adaptation of the 1998 television anime Cowboy Bebop. Entertainment news magazine Variety noted that the series has been in the works since last year. Netflix did not announce a release date for the series. Netflix describes the series as follows. Based on the worldwide phenomenon from Sunrise Inc., Cowboy Bebop is a jazz-inspired, genre-bending story of Spike Spiegel, Jet Black, Faye Valentine, and Radical Ed, a ragtag crew of bounty hunters on the run from their past as they hunt down the solar system's most dangerous criminals. They'll even save the world for the right price. The series is a co-production between Netflix and Tomorrow Studios, with Netflix handling physical production. Tomorrow Studios is a partnership between producer Marty Adelstein of Prison Break and Teen Wolf, producer of the live-action One Piece project. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to find out what that's all about. that sort of went over our heads here. And ITV Studios. Shinichiro Watanabe, the original anime's director, will serve as consultant for the project. Andre Nemec, Josh Applebaum, Jeff Pinker, and Scott Rosenberg of Midnight Radio are credited as showrunners and executive producers. Tomorrow Studios' Marty Adelstein and Becky Clements, Yasuo Miyakawa, Masayuki Oza, and the Shin. Why did you put a? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, why is there a semicolon here? Yeah, they're breaking them into which studios they're a part of. Okay, so anyway, and Shin Sasaki of Sunrise, the studio that animated the original series, and Tetsu Fujimura and Matthew Weinberg are also credited as executive producers. Okay, so this is, I mean, that doesn't actually really mean anything. Chris Yost of Thor: The Dark World and Thor: Ragnarok will write the first episode and is also credited as executive producer. So before this gets you excited, Chris Yost is one of like 10 writers for that movie, and I don't think he's even credited. I looked it up, and he's not credited in the Thor: Ragnarok thing on IMDb, but if you go to his IMDb, he is credited. So I don't know. Anyway. Somebody, Animaniac, was commenting how excited he was because they got the director of Thor Ragnarok, Taiki Waititi, but he was mistaken. It's the writer who's going to be writing the first episode. Although I would love it if Taiki Waititi was attached to the project. Variety and entertainment news website Deadline previously reported the above staff in June of last year. The original Hollywood's animated director, blah, 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 proposed live action. Okay, on the proposed Hollywood live-action film adaptation of the anime back in 2014, he said, "I'm afraid I don't know what they're thinking in Hollywood."
I agree
echoing the sentiment of everyone. Apparently, the project hasn't come to a stop, but I don't know how it's going to progress from here on. I hear that there are a lot of Hollywood problems. The director also said he had no interest in creating an animated Cowboy Bebop sequel unless, quote, "I thought I could do better than the last time. If I feel that way, I might make more, but I don't know when that would happen." Actor Keanu Reeves said in 2013 that Cowboy Bebop does not look like it is going to happen with me in it. Reeves was originally slated to star in the proposed live-action film. The American film studio 20th Century Fox, the production company 3 Arts Entertainment, and Sunrise announced in January 2009 that they would be co-producing the proposed adaptation of the anime. Joshua Long had acted as a production supervisor, and Erwin Stoff, a film producer who worked closely with Reeves on The Matrix and A Scanner Darkly, was also attached. The associate producers for the film were Sunrise. Okay, so I'm going to assume that this has all basically been overwritten by the new stuff. But what's kind of important here is that this is dating back almost 10 years ago. Okay, so this thing has been in various forms of production hell since all the way back in 2009. Now, something that's worth noting is that when a film is in production hell for this long and it never gets out of, let's say, pre-production or even pre-production, that it's kind of like how there's a band right now that's using the name Kiss, but if none of the original members are in it, is it still Kiss? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like it's evolved into a new thing. So I'm not going to use 10 years as my timeline on this, but I will say that the 2014 date is probably more accurate to sort of view from that lens. And I'll say that I don't have any hope that this is going to be any good. I'm actually surprised they actually move forward with it. But from my personal standpoint, Netflix has tanked pretty significantly with Daredevil season 3, Punisher season 1, awful, freaking terrible writing. And I don't see Cowboy Bebop being any good. Now, I haven't sat down and watched Castlevania. So I wonder if perhaps there is some hope or whatever, but of the Netflix original series I've recently seen, they've been pretty bad. So
Castlevania is animated by Frederator, so they have their own quality control. So Netflix aside from that, but the kind of, it's not about the animation; it's about the story writing, is where I'm thinking things are going to fall apart. And the thing also that should be noted is there's a lot of names here of people that, quite frankly, aren't the reason that the original Cowboy Bebop was phenomenal. Shinichiro Watanabe being an example of one of the few people that is, I think, one of the reasons why the original was so phenomenal. But Yoko Kanno is not attached to this so far as we know. Neither are the seatbelts. Not that, that is the entire reason the show was good, but it was a synergistic thing that came together back in the day. And then when it was brought over here, Stephen J. Bloom and Mary Elizabeth McGlynn were both pretty critical to it. The voice acting, being such a high mark compared to other shows of anime.
Imagine if they got them to dub over the lines of the characters.
I'll be honest with you, with Netflix doing this, I would not be surprised if they had a cameo in the movie.
Of either of them?
Well, no, I wouldn't. I would really not be surprised if Stephen J. Bloom ended up in the movie just as a cameo. The way that in Django Unchained, the original actor who played the white version of Django, that the movie is like not even, you couldn't even say it's loosely based on, but they literally just took the name from. In the scene where Jamie Foxx is telling that guy the G is silent, or the D in Django is silent, and the guy goes, "I know." That was a nod to the fact that guy played Django in the original movie. Anyway, so I expect something like that could probably happen, but I'm just saying that I don't have any hopes for this. I've been in the, I wouldn't say hyped about it, but all the way back in the 2009 stuff when those pictures surfaced of Keanu Reeves with Spike's hair photoshopped on him and stuff. I've never been on board with that casting choice. I
don't think anyone was actually thinking this was going to be great. I think that they were just hyped because Cowboy Bebop. I'm just saying that I'm not necessarily talking about this current one. I'm talking more about the 10 years ago hype that existed. And I think it's fizzled out personally. Anyway, do you guys
my
have
2 cents on the situation is I'm glad something came through fruition from the rumor than it just being an escalated rumor from word to mouth. Something happened, but after all the name dropping, and I hope his supervision helps out a lot. If anything, I feel like once this is released, it's just going to be one of those curious knots that happen and people will pass by it.
Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is don't get your hopes up, because having Shinichiro Watanabe on board is the same thing as them having Mamoru Oshii on board when they made the live action Ghost in the Shell. It didn't mean anything. It was literally just something that they did so that they could throw his name around. you know. So it's a trick to get people hyped. Lance says live action films always suck. Don't corrupt awesomeness with BS. I'll disagree with that. I don't think that they always suck, but the problem referring to live action adaptations, but you're unable to capture what made the anime good when you do it in the live action. You can occasionally get lucky and have a different reason why the live action movies end up being good.
But he's saying, like, obviously it doesn't mean every single one sucks.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's just, you got to look at it from a certain way. Now I gotta find out about this. A live action Hollywood TV show. How did we not know about this until now? This is all the way back in 2017.
Wow.
How did we not talk about this?
Now, going back to the live action topic for a second, it doesn't matter if a project's going to be good or bad. It's going to be good or bad. It doesn't really matter if the property was a previous media then goes to another. It depends on who's driving the wheel on how this would go. Like with City Hunter, going back to the Jackie Chan movie, instead of Ryo Saiba being a lecherous perv, he was very obsessed with food because of censorship, but it still was a good movie.
It's a good movie, but I wouldn't say it's a good City Hunter movie. It's a good Jackie Chan movie.
A good Jackie Chan movie.
And that's kind of exactly what I was just saying about a movie. A movie can capture magic, but have it be different magic. You know what I mean? Than the magic that anime brought in. That's what I'm trying to say. So in this regard, I think that I'm going into it very with bated breath, you could say, because I just know that when a show or a series gets stuck in production hell for this long, that you might as well sever all ties and start over, which is, I think, what they are actually doing for to give them some credit, versus the 10 years of baggage almost that they have from all the stuff back in 2009. Okay, so anyway, I think we've gotten our points across, but I really do want to know more about this One Piece thing. How did we miss this?
My 2 cents on the live action thing is that we talk a lot about live action when this is anime.
I agree.
We're on the live action anime news. I don't know what you want me to do. Okay, streaming news. Now we're going to get into some more Netflix announcements here. So, okay, this is actually something else that needs to be brought up regarding Netflix. Something that's important. I believe Netflix canceled Daredevil after season. I mean, good riddance, because they did a horrible job continuing to write those Marvel shows. There's just a stark turning point at that one year.
Anyway,
but I believe that Disney owning Marvel is the reason for that, because Disney's creating their own streaming service. And I think Disney is going to start, in order to be a competitor to existing streaming service, they have to create new shows that are worth people's time, right? That people would actually look at Disney and say, you know what? Yeah, speaking from the perspective of somebody else, because I don't believe this at all, but to say, yeah, I love the old Disney movies and stuff, but I don't want to pay $10 a month just so I can watch Snow White whenever I want, or something like that, right? Disney needs
a catalog.
Yeah, well, they need to create a new catalog that will bring people in, stuff that they haven't seen yet. And I think that Netflix's Daredevil series, when it was first launched, was pretty darn good, and seems to be what Disney's going to do. They're going to try to continue like the whole cinematic universe with properties that are going to be exclusive to their streaming platform, and that is how they're going to get people to actually buy into it. Now, with that said, that is going to leave Netflix scrambling for new options, and we're about to talk about some of the things that it seems like they have done. So, first of all,
hopefully Bollywood won't keep invading Netflix.
What's up?
Hopefully Bollywood would stop invading Netflix, and Every time I sit down at a friend's house to watch Netflix to see what they have, it's always this Bollywood stuff that keeps showing up. Maybe it's their taste. I don't know, but it's kind of off.
I can't comment on that. I barely use Netflix. But Baki's going to be premiering, Sirius the Jaeger, and High Score Girl. I can't remember, did we have a reason to believe High Score Girl was not going to get a DVD release or physical release?
I don't recall that.
I mean, with such hits like Neo Yokio, I don't know what Netflix is worried about. Anyway, so yeah, then Backstreet Girls, which is actually something I'm about to talk about here, is also going to be hitting Netflix, but I think this is going to be Netflix Japan. No, because I clicked on this and I remember now. Yeah, I saw that there's actually a page for it on the US side. So interesting. Now, Netflix to stream Evangelion series, Death or Rebirth, and end of Evangelion next spring.
Really rushed that title there.
Discuss.
Okay, so my opening thought on it is A, finally, B, awesome, because now people can actually watch it officially and not be sitting here thinking it's not available. And then what is it? Let's see, Evangelion. Why am I blanking all of a sudden? Evangelion on the frickin'. Oh yeah, and the other thing is this hopefully means that they're out of licensing hell in some capacity. So maybe that means someone else is going to be up, but they'll probably have this massive bidding war.
Likewise, I agree that this should be a show that should be more readily available. So this should capture a new audience, like you pointed out. A common thing with Evangelion I've been seeing is a whole war between older fans and newer fans. Older fans appreciate, like the show, or can talk hours on end about it. For some reason, a new crowd of people getting into this stuff hate it for some reason. I don't know. Hopefully there's going to be more of a balance or the same shift for more people to get into this series. What I'm more curious about is, since ADV Films had the license, lost the license, and Savek has mentioned they were kind of salty about it, what happened to the live action movie rights?
Okay.
To this show?
Oh my god, live action.
No, well, so first of all, let me just clarify. This, to me, seems like a move on Netflix's part to counteract the fact that Disney is pulling the plug on their Marvel stuff. So that's kind of what I was getting at before.
It also says worldwide distribution or whatever. So that's actually a pretty good thing.
I wonder if this is going to be...
announcement does not mention if the original English dub from the ADV Films release will be included.
It probably will.
That's the question I was going to ask. Okay.
Well, here's the thing. So other information we learned through the podcast and keeping tabs on this stuff is that when a show is a Netflix original, they make the studio pay for dubbing in all the different languages that Netflix offers.
Oh, it's already dubbed.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, but either dubbing or subtitling needs to be available in every language that they cater to, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix got the dub. Regarding what you guys were suggesting about the license coming out of hell, I don't think it's actually been in hell. I think that it's been just... I imagine that the Japanese companies probably value this property to a degree that it's been hard to get a bid going, like an actual realistic bid that doesn't fall apart, because they're probably overly demanding about it. If we were going to speculate on, because I do think it's likely that it will get a a physical release again at least some point in the future. I'm going to speculate Funimation will probably get it because they have
they already have the other movies.
They have the other movies, yeah. So I think that only makes sense to me. I hope Sentai doesn't get it because I don't think that they have handled. They have an overabundance of titles that they aren't putting proper energy into the titles that they have. You know what I mean? Like the good titles are suffering because they're putting out so much crap, you know?
Well, it kind of feels like they're grabbing what they can to keep up in the race and release, maybe on a gamble, maybe on a strategy.
And we could speculate real quick that they're hurting because of the debacle that was Legend of the Galactic Heroes, but that's speculation at this point.
Now, the other
the Netflix poster there, they use the art that's also on the Christmas Platinum Edition art box, like right there.
Okay. Yeah, with Ray and Shinji.
Yep.
Wait, isn't that? Oh yeah, Platinum Edition. You're right.
Anyway, so you were gonna say something, FDDNM?
I was gonna say that the reason I thought it was in licensing hell is because wasn't there stuff about Studio Gainax and Hideaki Anno having like this lawsuit controversy thing about who owns the rights to Evangelion and all that stuff, and then they changed to Gaina according to those articles we read a while ago.
Oh god. Yeah. No, you're right. That's a good point. So no, I definitely agree that there is. Sure. So you could say that the licensing hell may have actually been a result of license holders in Japan being in dispute of who actually owned the license.
Right.
Okay. So that's a good point. No, I think you're right. That makes a lot of sense actually.
Now, if they do redub the series and they get a re-release this, how would that work out? Because you technically have 2 English dubs. The previous dub technically has 2 different tracks because some of the remastered quote-unquote editions, they add more sound effects where the Japanese track didn't have those.
You mean
are we going to see
5.1?
interchangeable tracks
So
if it gets released?
He's referring specifically to our favorite voice actor,
Spike Spencer.
Win Lee.
Oh, her.
Yeah, who added
just leave Grant out. Just leave Tiffany out.
Gross, like exploding gut sound to the scene where Masato shoots the guy in the head.
When I watched that the first time, I thought it was an actual effect that they did.
Yeah, but
I mean, I probably thought nothing of it.
Yeah, so I'm just saying that I would be all for if Funimation gets it,
optimizing it.
Well, I would be all for them redubbing it. I don't think that the original dub is bad in terms of the voices of the actors that they used. I know a lot of people have trouble with it, but I don't think that is actually the problem of the original dub. More the translation in some areas is iffy at best. But I would prefer if they are going to redub it that Funimation gets a hold of it and not somebody else.
I was gonna say though that they don't have exactly all the same voice actors. I think they just have Spike Spencer for their redub for like 1.1 stuff. I was gonna say, what is there really much of a purpose if they're going to use the same people? But when you put it that way, yeah. But do they have to really redub the entire thing? If it's just the sound effects, they could just replace that.
No, it's not just the sound effects. That was just an example of creative liberties that they took, and it cheapens the thematic reasoning behind why the original Japanese creators created it the way that they did. With the particular scene regarding Misato that I'm referring to from End of Eva, but yeah, I'm just chatting here with that mecha guy about them using the same sound effect. It was literally from a sound library, you know, and it's if you're gonna, I don't know. I think we've already kind of hit all the points that need to be hit. I think that they should, if they're going to redub it, I would like to see them actually take the time to do it right, and I think they would, especially if Funimation gets it.
Actually, Funimation could make a dub that is just for the sake, like have a secondary track that has the same voices from their movies. That would make sense, actually.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm suggesting. Yeah. Just so
think
that
about
it's clear.
that.
I mean, I would like them to have, if they did do a Blu-ray release, which the show definitely needs, I would like for them to include both, just for media preservation's sake.
They probably would, because they did that with Escaflowne.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that they would. I'm just saying, like, I would like to see this. Would they change the dialogue audio track? Yeah, so just so that it's abundantly clear, what I'm suggesting is that I would like to see a version of Evangelion with a more faithful translation to the script, using the voice actors from the Evangelion rebuild movies, so that it's consistent with the Funimation release on Blu-ray, without additional sound effects put in just for the sake of, wouldn't it be awesome if we did this kind of thing, which was the mindset from the words of Amanda Wynn Lee herself, the mindset they did when they were doing the ADR stuff on it back then. So that's what I'm suggesting. Anyway, can we move on?
only
If they
final
decided to do that track, like you're saying, what I would like to see happen for this series is kind of how they did the original Star Trek with its remastered edition. There's a collection of Star Trek out there that you can switch and swap if you want the CG effects or the model effects while watching the show, which I feel like that would be a convenient option for the viewer or purchaser. I was going to say FDDNM.
Oh yeah, the last thing I was going to say is that, yay, now you can go on Netflix and watch the was it End Evangelion without the stupid pillar and letterboxing.
Window boxing.
Yeah, I didn't remember that term.
Yeah,
but
I'm just reminding you, because repetition is the key to learning. I'm not trying to shame anybody. I hate it when I always feel like people.
I don't know. I'm just explaining why I didn't say window boxing is all. But yeah, that's like, that'll be beautiful, because it takes up so much resolution when it's already SD.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that mecha guy is saying, also keep Ava Unit 1's roar the same as the Japanese version. I don't care for the monster roar like in the English dub. I'll say this about it. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but in terms of Attack on Titan, I actually like the English effect they have on Aaron's Titan form roar a lot more than the Japanese one, personally. But I'd like to, let me put it this way. Here's the end all to it, is that anime dubbing has come a long way. They are way better at it today than they were back then. And I'd like to see this handled by the capable hands of today, and have both tracks on the Blu-ray so that I can enjoy however I want to hear it. You know what I mean? I'd like for them to at least give it a shot. All right. You guys ready to move on?
Moving on.
All right. So I'm sorry for you, FDDNM, but Ozoland Pictures canceled the Canadian screenings of Chunibyo.
You mean they're canceling that thing I didn't know was a thing to begin with? Oh no.
And then Hunter, the Last Mission anime films, is going to head to the US theaters. And this movie is from 2013. So we're finally getting it over here, which is cool, because it's probably going to get physical release and all that.
I'll be glad to add it to my rest of my Hunter stuff. Yeah.
So that's looking good. That's going to be coming in January 2019, so we will probably talk a little bit more about it, and I'm going to have to finally get myself caught up so I can go to this screening more prepared. Lupin the Third gets a new TV anime special this winter, and it looks as though he's getting a new jacket color. So he's going to be wearing black, as you can see, although he's also wearing red here. So
I was going to say, why does he have two different ones?
We will have to see. So Jun Kawagoe of Lupin the Third, Operation Return the Treasure, Cyborg 009 versus Devilman, and Innocent Venus is directing the anime at TMS Entertainment. Takehito Hara of The Aurora is penning the script, and Hirotaka Marufuji of Lupin the Third, The Last Job is the key animator. Kabaneri the Iron Fortress chief animation. Oh no, he was the key animator on that, and he was the chief animation director of Kabaneri the Iron Fortress, is serving as character designer, which I always think is very funny that the character design has changed so little in all this time, but people still get tasked with doing it. Although if you watch Mystery of Mamo and then watch Castle of Cagliostro, there's definitely a difference in the character designs. Anyway, you guys have anything you want to say about this?
Lance Powers says anime 10 Age o Leja Mao
At Augie.
I think that says, is that T-I-N or T? Lance, please. Yeah. I'll talk. So, not Nico. All right. So I'm going to.
Means what? But Kore, like Greek
what is
statue?
This? Like,
oh.
Kore means this,
is?
and Sore means that, or whatever. Like, so Nani Kore is like, what is this? Like, what the hell? I might have those backwards anyway. But sci-fi survival manga 7 Seeds sprouts into a Netflix original anime series based on long-running shoujo/josei manga, to which I say, well, what is it? Shoujo josei or sci-fi survival? By Yumi Tamura begins delivery in April of 2019. So again, the reason I've sort of structured things the way that I have is it's Klingon. He was speaking to you in Klingon. Hold on. So what I was getting at, the reason I structured things here is what I'm trying to convey is that because of Disney's split with Netflix, it looks to me that we are going to start getting like Netflix had access to Marvel. They don't have access to Marvel anymore. So Netflix is scrambling for something new. And it looks to me like they're jumping on anime, both in terms of original anime and live action anime. Now that's fantastic on one end, because we get a lot more of this. But on the other hand, a lot of the Netflix anime have not had physical releases. So it's like, it's kind of a bittersweet thing.
Well, they're doing better than Amazon anyway. They actually do have some that are releasing.
They do, for sure. Boy, it's
a work in progress. They've only
look at how undynamic the poses for. I mean, and for a character sheet, they don't have to be, but it just seems so bland. And then all of a sudden, you get to these other characters who are actually like posed into a more. It's just interesting. Anyway, so do you even know about 7 Seeds? Like, does anybody have anything to say about this, or shall I? All right, move on then. Gundam franchise announces 5 projects for its 40th anniversary, including Hathaway's Flash. And I'm going to harken back to our Boogie Woogie discussion about this is how you do an anniversary, right? As we were saying. So, the press conference for the Gundam franchise's 40th anniversary was held in Tokyo today on November 21st, announcing 5 new projects. Mobile Suit Gundam, the Origin TV series, because the current Origin one is a manga, correct? And the OVA?
No, it's a... Okay, yeah. I thought you were going to say it's only a manga.
Yeah, so what I'm getting at is they're lengthening it to the length of a series. It's going to be a re-edited edition.
Are they lengthening or cutting it?
Based on the 6-part OVA released from 2015 to 2018, a re-edited edition will be aired for 13 episodes on NHK General TV. All OPED theme songs are produced by Sugizo. Okay.
I think that first announcement is the only bittersweet thing here, because it's like, yeah, you're getting more of something that's already out, and you'll probably have to buy it if they re-release it. But yeah, continue.
Well, it's kind of funny because I'm looking for ways for us to start sneaking Gundam into the watch club so I can sit down and
We
watch
have
it, because
one
I want to sit down and experience Gundam,
Well,
but they
like
just
the
keep
first
making
one.
it and they keep putting stuff like I'm trying to watch it based on the Universal Century timeline and all the other different time. I'm trying to watch them sequentially. So technically Gundam Thunderbolt actually takes place before the original Gundam, isn't it? Or no,
Right.
Gundam Igloo is the one that takes place before the original Gundam, right? So
Right.
but now we've got the origin, and I'm like,
I
well,
thought Origin
goddamn it.
was like Origin is before the original TV series, but my problem with that is that you're going from the most beautifully animated version, and then you go to the worst, most primitive version right after, and you're like,
If you watch the movies, it's not that bad.
Yeah, let me clarify something real quick. You have not seen the original Gundam. That's correct. Yeah.
to who? I've watched 10
To you.
episodes.
Okay. Well, I was just going to say that of what I have seen of the original Gundam, I don't think that would be an issue for me, because it's kind of like if you've ever sat down and watched like the original Macross, or like when we watch Dallos, there's a charm to the vintage effect that I think holds up. The issue though that I have with it is that the DVDs of the original Gundam that I have, I think, are dub only. So anyway,
What's wrong with
new
that?
Gundam build series, SD Gundam World's Sangoku Soketsuden. So that's
Because people want more super deformed Gundams.
Yeah, seriously.
Yes, that is just as big as Gundam.
Gundam Reconquista? Is that how you're supposed to pronounce it?
Reconquista.
They're making
Reconquista
compilation
in
clothes
G?
for that one. Why?
Okay, so
like
I have to take back a lot of what I
FDDNM.
just said. I was just
When
saying
they
this
make
is
a
how you
Gundam
do it,
series.
not the-
This is how you make it. You make
They
a bunch of.
always do a trilogy movie. You're
I
always
know.
going
I
to
just-
see that.
Why?
It seems so.
It's so
I have to.
redundant.
I have to completely redact my statement about how if you're going to celebrate the anniversary of something, that you actually do something like this. But in actuality, I'm going to guess right now, these are literally, because of how much Gundam they make, these were probably just on the slate. And because it's the 40th anniversary, yeah, it's our 40th anniversary special. More SD Gundam. Yeah.
That's literally the
More
only
Gundam
new
build.
thing.
Anyway.
Oh, Reconquista was 26
this-
episodes?
This is the only thing that seems to be actually related to the 40th anniversary, right? The Hathaway Flash trilogy film, 3-part feature film based on Yoshiyuki Tomino's spin-off / sequel novel of the same name, is officially confirmed. It is the second project of UC Universal. I'm assuming this is Universal Century NXT 01. I don't even know. I'm not a big enough fan of Gundam to even comprehend what that's supposed to mean. I'm assuming UC stands for Universal Century, though.
Yeah.
Following the forthcoming film Mobile Suit Gundam NT, that will open in Japan November 30th. Screen
So
into
those are
theaters. Oh, that's
actually
cool.
a new thing, I guess?
Yeah.
Because it's coming after, it comes after NT, which hasn't even aired, I don't think.
All right. Well, I'm going to let more information about this come out, but it's cool that it's cool. I mean, it's bittersweet we're getting more Gundam because there's just so freaking much of it to try to get through.
I just find it unnecessary because it's like, here's more Gundam that you've already seen that we're going to obligate you to watch /
To own.
purchase.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind
But
it
the
bulking
thing
up.
is that of the Gundam I have watched, I've enjoyed so much of it that it's like I feel obligated to buy this stuff. But when I do actually sit down and watch it, I haven't felt like I was suffering. Maybe SD Gundam, but anyway,
It's just
Uh,
like, well, my
yeah.
only, I don't remember what I was going to say for that, but I do remember what I was going to say is that the way that I plan to watch Gundam is sequentially to how the air date was.
okay.
So then
that's
it goes
probably
from,
the smarter way to do it. Just
because
for
it goes
the-
from lowest production quality to highest. Not that means anything after a certain point, but
not only
I
that,
think
but they're made to be watched that way.
right. That's how it was originally made. I'm not going to be one of those snobs that says, watch it the way it was meant to be, sub only with Japanese. No,
No, but
it's
I mean,
like
in terms of Star Wars, you're supposed to watch episodes 4, 5, and 6 before 1, 2, and 3.
because it was released that way, so that's how people experienced it. So I figure.
I mean that the storytelling aspect was written to be experienced that way. They didn't write it so that you were
Basically.
supposed to experience it with 1, 2,
say-
and 3, because 1, 2, and 3 has reveals that don't mean anything to you unless you saw 4, 5, and 6 first. A lot of them are
Heed my
stupid. Like,
warning.
hey, did you know that Darth Vader built C-3PO? You know, like shit like that's not. It's dumb. Like, but when you watch
You're better off.
1, 2, and 3 first, and then go into 4, 5, and 6, oh, R2D2 and C-3PO are here. Like, that's weird that they're keeping these characters from those other
Watching
movies
the movie
that didn't do anything.
trilogies.
You know. So anyway,
They'll save you some
Lashansky
time.
says
You get a
says
higher art quality. And technically, the TV series for Gundam at first wasn't what made it big. The toy sales and the
And the
movies
trilogy movies.
made the series and revived, kept it alive so it can go to the next iteration.
as far as I'm concerned, there's only one spoiler for Star Wars, and if you don't know it by now, that's on you. And the other spoiler is that franchise actually really sucks. Sorry, have to say it. Anyway.
You don't like it.
I don't care for it. I think it's dumb.
I like it.
all right. I am finished with this
Actually,
Gunpla.
on that plot. Hold on, I have to. My wife sent me a message this morning from says. Now I'm gonna equate this. I'm gonna start by saying that in Star Wars, they have Star Destroyers and laser swords, but all the characters, at least the Jedi, look like Jesus and the 12 apostles in terms of their clothing, right? My wife sent me this. Science in One Piece is fucking wild. No, on one end, the average person doesn't know that rubber doesn't conduct electricity, and on the other end, genetic manipulation down to the cellular level has been near perfected. Came to some more interesting revelations as I was messaging a friend. Somebody said, "We have guns that are very inefficient, but look, here is modern day surgical tech. We don't have television, but there are." This person can't write. We have wizards in the sky that can control the weather. Radio, never heard of her. You know what though? Cyborgs. So anyway.
Okay.
Moving on for that weird tangent. My Hero Academia anime films bonus All Might manga that was given away to the first million theater goers in Japan is getting an anime release. Of course it is. So
Moving on.
I guess we're just going to get to see more of the anime version of California that's actually Nevada. All right. So we talked. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did I not call out the bullshit in that article about the Legend of Zelda Netflix series? Because they were so wrong. It was all conjecture, and they put out the article with the clickbaitiest title, like it's confirmed. No, it's a Devil May Cry. It's a Devil May Cry series getting a Netflix original. To which I'm just going to say can't possibly be worse than the other Devil May Cry anime. That thing, in my house,
I thought that was a fun show.
I call that show Devil May Cry. That show sucks.
Are you saying we should watch that for January's Watch Club?
Hell no! I don't want to sit through it again. That's a gross bastardization of the Devil May Cry franchise. It's
Actually, maybe
so
because
awful.
I didn't play the game, so when I watched it, I enjoyed it.
So the funny thing about it is
couldn't kill the lava spider because it didn't flash for the hits.
This is a terrible
the anime. I haven't seen it.
This is a terrible picture of Dante. But the funny thing
better
about
than what they did for DMC game where they changed his look.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that in the anime, they spend so much time making Dante look dark, mysterious, and badass. And freaking Lady looks like a man through half of that show.
Man, that was one of the first few anime I watched, so I do not remember details like that. But all I have to say is, if they can at least have the original Dante look and the original attitude and all that crap, I'll be happy, because I don't want some DMC, oh, he has short hair now and brown hair and loses his charm type thing. You know? I'll be happy if they can do that. And judging by what they did with Castlevania, hopefully it'll be good. And also, do you see the quote that the guy said who's making it? He's like, I had to get the rights so they don't F it up in Hollywood.
Yeah. And I quote.
That's what gives me faith, that quote.
Devil May Cry will join Castlevania in what is being referred to as bootleg multiverse. He didn't provide much in the way of details, but he said he acquired the rights, so, quote, the jabronis in Hollywood don't fuck this one up, too. He also thanked fans for making Castlevania such a huge success, saying the series really overperformed. Judging from the photo he shared, it's safe to say Adi Shankar is excited about his latest acquisition. All right. Anyway. All right, Lance. Thanks for stopping by. So let's move on to Magical Creamy Mammy.
All right.
So it's getting a spin-off manga. So I guess that means
we're going spin-off anime to be licensed by that company that's going to go out of business as soon as it's licensed and then burn all of their stock.
Talking about Anime Souls.
There are already. Oh yeah, crowdfunding. Yeah, the defunct video streaming crowdfunding anime Soul had a crowdfunding campaign. Have
you ever seen this show, Creamy Mammy? It has one thing with Lupin that's in common. It knows how to deliver mayhem. Like, it will start like the tiniest of problems and somehow escalate to a huge chase. Like in the first episode, there's an admirer of the girl. She's running away with the boy that she likes. A car almost hits this big kid that's the admirer. And all he does is run past the car, kind of push it aside like a tackle, and keeps running. To me, it's a very enjoyable show. I just wish it was more available.
Hopefully
this reboot will give it more of a.
Is this the character you're talking popularity
about? Yes, that's him.
What I'm hoping for is that whoever licenses the new anime will be like, oh, there's already an anime for this. And then...
Yeah, similar to Glass
Mask.
That was like the reverse, wasn't it? Because they got the new one and then they got the old one.
Well, that's what I'm saying is, I thought you were saying that whoever gets the new one notices that they have the older one, and
for some reason
also licenses that.
For some reason, I wasn't thinking there, so you're right. Never mind.
All right. I'll just say this. I'll keep this brief. I don't know that this has anything to do with the new thing. This does look like an updated artwork of the old designs, and I actually think this looks pretty good. But again, this is for the manga, so the artist is going to be the same artist, right? I mean, it's not going to change that drastically, but I like the updated, let's say, digital artwork look of it over a lot of other shows that get rebooted and just lose all their detail and don't keep that old 80s charm. So I want to keep an eye on where this goes and see if we get hopefully get a better release over here of the original. Hunter x Hunter manga goes on hiatus again in December. You could pretty much just keep sharing this same article and change the month. This is the hiatus chart.
So long ago, I heard it was like because he's too busy playing Dragon Quest. And I think the last time that we said he went on hiatus, I said, yeah, but it's only when he goes on Dragon Quest. But I didn't realize they actually released a new one. So it's totally true.
I thought it was Akira Toriyama that had a bad habit of that.
No,
He
Akira
drew the
Toriyama,
art
he
of it.
designs the artwork for Dragon Quest. So,
Yeah,
so
but
he's
doesn't
actually
his wife
working.
have to take away from him so he can work?
The
I want
funny
to play
thing
my
is,
own game, honey.
yeah,
Leave
this
me
is
alone.
this is the funniest thing about this is that Hunter x Hunter is a victim of its own success, because if your manga is so popular that you can afford to take this much time off work, your fans, like, I mean, I just feel so, I mean, I like Hunter x Hunter, and I'm glad that you know, we're getting the anime and stuff of it. I don't read the manga, but of what I saw of the original anime came out, loved it. The newer anime, I'm still not caught up to where it overlaps with the original stuff was, but I'm pretty close. I'm looking forward to see where it goes, and I think, you know, they've handled it in a really nice way. But God, like, it's just a show this popular that you just end up, I mean, come on. There's more red here than blue.
Yeah, I heard. Sorry. When I read like 100 or something chapters of it, and I liked it, but I don't like it as much as everyone is like, oh my god, best anime of ever all time. So, it's a shonen, is what I think. Yeah, but
let me clarify. It's worth noting that there are a couple arcs at the beginning that are a little bit difficult to get through, and then the show gets incredibly good right at the point where the original release ends. The re-release, well, actually, I wouldn't say right. The show gets really interesting midway through the original release, but then in the re-release where they reanimated it and they decided to start at the beginning and just blow through that story, like they're getting through like 10 episodes in one episode kind of thing. The stuff that was interesting in the first original release is handled so poorly that it's not interesting in the same way in the re-release, if that makes sense. So but I'm just saying that like, if you haven't gotten far enough into it, I'm telling you, like, I thought that it was overhyped until I got to a certain point in it, like around the time where this character shows up, and it just totally blew my mind what was happening in the show. Like, it got so interesting.
So I mean, it's like a Full Alchemist and Brotherhood, how the first one handles like the stuff it does cover again a lot better, but obviously it doesn't follow through the whole thing or even more material.
I think it's a different situation there, but regarding specifically Brotherhood, I haven't watched enough of I've only watched like maybe the first 3 episodes of Brotherhood. At some point it would be nice if we actually watched that, but that's too long. The original Fullmetal Alchemist and Brotherhood, but that would be a nice thing.
Long, and yeah, I don't think you want to support its current release right now.
You mean the Aniplex? I'm not going to buy that.
Well, you can watch it on Netflix for anyone who wants to.
Anyway, so Eevee stars in first official Pokemon Tamagotchi gadget.
There you go.
Now, first of all, this is I always hate this. I'm going to continue to call it Tamagotchi, and I'm also going to continue to call it karate instead of karate, but this probably should be Tamagotchi, just for the record.
Oh, God.
There's just a couple things I'm not gonna give up the American pronunciation of, because I like them better.
This is such an oxymoron, though, because Tamagotchi is what Digimon Company is. So they're.
I brought that up too. I said, let the Digimon lawsuits begin. And Augie had pointed out, he made a great point that technically this actually isn't the first time that there was a Pocket Pal version of Pokemon, because there was the Pikachu.
Are you talking about the gold and silver versions that had that Pokeball?
Back before the time when the yellow version came out, there was a Pikachu. I forgot what it was called. No, it wasn't Pikachu Go. There was a Pocket Pikachu thing that had a pedometer in it. So it actually, you got, like, I think there were mini games on it, and you actually earned like coins or something, like the
flying game and the surfing game.
Yeah, so there was like a type of currency that you earned by walking. So believe it or not, before Pokemon Go, the Pokemon franchise was getting people out of the house to walk. Although if you were like me, you attached it to your trampoline and got a zillion coins in an hour. But yeah, so this actually is I mean, I don't know if your Pocket Pikachu has anything to do with Tamagotchi, but
I think this concept's way too outdated to be appealing to the young ones.
No, I
Well, you
have
say
to agree.
outdated, but the Tamagotchi crowd is still popular even today.
Right, but it's I mean,
So
it's more of a novelty thing.
The funny thing about Tamagotchi is it has all the aspects of parenting that are the worst aspects, and pretty much none of the good aspects.
No, I don't think you have this article set up, but there's a article that came out today or yesterday, that people are trying to bootleg it before it even comes out right now.
Bootleg it, or you mean like they're because it's such a freaking simple concept that you could make your own. You could probably program it in a freaking graphing calculator and release it online. Yeah. It's dumb.
But for
literally all it is pictures of Edie instead of the other thing. Anyway, Devil May Cry 5 Collector's Edition, which I thought we already had.
It's another one.
$88,000 version of it.
This one's
comes
the
with
$120.
So it comes with a van.
Is
it thinking it's been 10 now or something?
I totally want this replica of some really ratty, beat up old vehicle.
I think that's a Winnebago.
They call them
Winnebago, which is how they make cried spray paint with blue on it. Was this Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
It's neon lights.
Oh.
I was reading something here. What did they say?
After that Fallout 76 Collector's Edition bag? No, siree. No, I wouldn't get that anyway.
All right. So I think I don't think anybody has anything to say about this. Let's just move on to release news, which I realize I'm gonna have to.
There is literally nothing.
There's also a request for us to go through the Funimation sale right now.
We could do that.
Which is just a few bundles.
Since I have more cash than I did.
I saw a ton of My Hero Academia merch on the first page.
Yeah, is there a way on?
I'm going to get the school uniform.
Is there? You mean the tracksuit?
Yeah. You can pre-order the tracksuit right now.
Tracksuits, personally.
My
mother-in-law bought my son a tracksuit for Christmas or whatever, and I'm like, yep, my son, the Russian gangster over there. Okay, so pre-orders / new releases. Wow, am I glad I turned off the the screen sharing before I did this.
The teen whatever.
Oh my god. It's figures is what's coming up right now that I have to hide. Hold on, let me switch it to Blu-ray.
Yeah, figures.
All I see is some live action called The Great Battle, and then that adult title that is not.
Oh, Teen Trio.
All right, here we go. Luck and Logic Essentials, and then Love Live.
No, that was last time.
Pretty much last time. That was.
I know. I'm saying Love Live. I meant we did Love Live last time, so we're getting into it. Was this in the last one too?
Yep. Yeah. Well,
I don't remember it. I don't care.
Like I said,
one that wasn't last time.
Okay. Well, so this is what's new. Is this? Oh, great. Yeah, thank you.
I sent you that Amazon link or whatever to, was it Yokai Watch?
Oh, oh yeah, that's right. You would just mention it. I thought we had an article for that, but we don't. Let me pull that up. You sent me, yes, here it is. Okay.
And there's technically Perfect Blue Blu-ray that's coming out in like February, but the page is missing because I guess they're not ready to pre-order and stuff. So let's just let that be said.
Yokai Watch Season 1, Volume 1. How many episodes are going to be on this thing?
12, I think.
286 minutes. Yeah, it's not going to be very much.
But hey, look at the price. It could be a lot worse.
Could be worse. Who's releasing it?
Some unknown company, as far as I know.
M Circle. Okay. All right. Well, that's Yokai Watch for you. I think sort title. Yeah. Okay. We'll do the Funimation thing. Let's come back to that.
I think the Funimation thing, most of the sales are pretty negligible, at least for me. But
well, I just want to let's get through the articles real quick because we've only got a couple left.
Right.
Okay.
And a lot of them we're just gonna mention like, hey, this happened, and then we're gonna move on. There's some more. Well, I'll get to this in a minute. Let me. Did anybody in the chat actually watch Haunted Junction out of curiosity? Because if you didn't, if literally nobody did, and nobody actually wants to get to that discussion, then we'll do the. I have no problem doing the Funimation thing before that.
I actually only got to watch half of Haunted Junction, but I mean it's episodic. So
I'll be honest, I didn't rewatch all of it, but since I was rewatching it, I had already seen it, so it didn't bother me as much. First time I watched the show, it didn't grip me. Second time didn't grip me either. So, but New Whiskey shows Golgo 13 really knows its demographic. 2 vintage space sides get relabeled for the series' 50th anniversary. I think a space side is a Scottish single malt Scotch. I don't know. I'd have to get Dakota Broski on here to spin the tales about different alcohols.
So Lashonsky has it, but he hasn't watched it, so we'd be spoiling it.
Okay. Yeah, so because if nobody is going to mind that we do the sale first, then that's great because we can. It just feels more.
Nice.
Like we
Bill would like to talk about it.
No, I'm not saying we shouldn't talk about it. I'm just saying that it'll be great. Good.
I was gonna say I heard about this type of thing that there's so many animation problems that are like the mouth is like floating away from the character or something like that level bad. And there's been like some stuff in the credits where the staff put like, please help me.
You're talking about this, not Haunted Junction, just so that people, because I don't think they can.
Yeah.
What's the name of this?
My Sister, My Writer.
My Writer.
So in this series, the credits list an animator with the pseudonym Honestly I'm Screwed as the name. So this is the name here, Shojiki Komada, which I don't think that I don't think this means that. I think what they're getting at is that the translation of if you put these characters together could mean this, because this just doesn't seem right for what.
Well, it's probably intentional because the staff is like, "Oh my God, help me!"
Yeah,
we're in bad times, man.
Yeah, I remember there was one time. Yeah, I forget. I don't remember the guy's name. There was a thing when Obama was president where the White House press secretary had the word "help" written on his hand in Sharpie. I just made me think of that when he was up there and he kept flashing his hand around. I'm like, what is going on? Anyway, it's not unusual for animators to work under pseudonyms on titles they do not wish to have their real name associated with. I can attest to this. The name Shojiki Komada does not appear on the credits of any other anime project. It's kind of funny that somebody actually paid attention enough to notice this and look into it and realize, it's
I think it's because of that thing that happened before that I heard about, probably.
So this was a cry for help is the bottom line of the animators, that the industry is so ridiculously unsustainable.
I think that's more particularly this one.
So it's the industry in general, but this particular one is suffering from the unsustainability of the industry overall for sure. So something that's worth noting, Hayao Miyazaki has been quoted saying that there are too many otaku in the anime industry. And the reason for that is because of the unsustainability of the industry. Because the only people who are willing to get a job working 80 hours a week or more, living at the studio, sleeping under your desk, are people who actually have a passion for the anime industry going into it. Nobody else is going to put themselves through that. Right. So it is a product of its own demise in that regard. And that's not to say that the other people shouldn't that there should be more people in the industry who don't give a shit about anime. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that a lot of it, like let's say in the Western movie business, when the movie industry was, especially like special effects was growing, people were coming from other fields and becoming effects artists, like puppeteers and whatnot. And that actually was remarkably good for the industry as a whole, because it opened up an opportunity for people to utilize skills that they had spent their lifetime developing to work in things such as engineering or whatever, right? And they brought that to like Hollywood and worked on movies and did model making and stuff for like Star Wars or other sci-fi type things. And that helped that was like a big boom in the industry. But now people are getting into the industry because they want to work in the industry, right? So they go to school to learn this stuff, and then everybody ends up thinking the same way rather than coming into it with a better, more diverse idea set on how to approach problems. So everybody's approaching the problems the way that they were taught rather than thinking outside the box and innovating, which I think is the problem that Miyazaki is noticing. So moving on.
All I have to say is that studio has made 5 anime total. So I'm pretty sure they were just not that well off to begin with, and it's just crumbling down because they're not that successful. But yeah.
What is the studio? Naz and
Naz.
Well, Naz has got a lot on their thing that they've been involved in.
But no, like, okay, so I'm looking on Wikipedia. There's like 5 things that they've straight up like done all the production.
Yeah, so that's probably.
It says though other projects. There's 5 other different things that they've done, like in betweens and stuff.
Photography for Devilman Crybaby.
Well,
huge success.
Also, keep in mind for some studios.
Since there's only 5, why don't you just read off the 5 titles?
It says
if you look
the
at
ones
Studio
that they've done.
So basically, it looks like we have to just look up
Queens for a long time.
Yeah, animation production.
They've done Hamatora. They've done Dramatical Murder, My First Girlfriend's a Gal, Angol Moi, Record of Mongol Invasion.
That's surprising to me that a studio having this much trouble, and also a studio that has My First Girlfriend is a Gal. When I look at that art style, they're the ones doing Angomwa and Dramatical Murder. It's funny, all the things that Augie just bought: Dramatical Murder, Diabolic Lovers. You know,
oh my
God. Didn't you just get this too?
I'm supporting an industry, even though it was on sale.
So some of these are actually listed twice because Hajimete no Gal is the same thing as My First Girlfriend is a Gal. They're listed in the English and Japanese. Although hilariously, Hajimete no Gal. Oh, because this is the OVA. Oh, interesting. I was going to say they didn't do photography for that one. Anyway, all right. So moving on. Mobile Suit Gundam writer Yu Yamamoto passed away at 71. Augie and I had a fun laugh at. I was joking that. Well, we were actually talking about a different guy who was 88. We were joking that people in Japan either die really young or really old, and he said, "Yeah, they're all rock stars."
Yeah, pretty much.
They live the rock and roll lifestyle of dying at 27 or dying at 105.
I remember that there's a quick Gundam thing that I forgot to say is that why didn't they announce something about the new the sequel to Gundam 00 that they were playing? That's what I'm looking forward to. But they're like, yeah, here's some recap.
Yeah,
anyway.
why aren't they? I kind of agree with you. How come there's not any more promotions for that? I remember us talking about it.
Because it's probably way in pre-production or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, it might be waiting until after Code Geass is done.
Oh, which is still taking forever to come over.
Yeah. At least quality matters for that type of show.
Miss Universe contestant. Oh, we should do Code Geass for Watch Clubs in 2019. Miss Universe contestant represents Japan dressed as Sailor Moon. I don't have anything to say about this. I just wanted to bring it to your attention. It's a neat little thing to hold us over till the next article here about girls and Panzer fans crowd this year's Orai Fest.
Yep.
So the coastal town of Ori in Ibaraki Prefecture's annual Anglerfish Festival has seen a huge influx of visitors ever since it merged with the Girls in Panzer anime in 2013. So long story short, because of the I guess this is the setting that Girls in Panzer takes place in. Is that am I getting that right? It's basically
Either
become
setting or the place that they took the final battle in the movie.
Right. Take it easy, Takaso. So because of that, there's been a tourist. It's become a tourist attraction, and the festival is seeming to be. Maybe the festival was featured in the show. Is that what it is? But people are coming, and it's getting rowdy. Like it's actually getting a little out of hand because of how overcrowded the shopping district is getting. I'm not even going to bother. Anyway, moving on. Fist of the North Star's Heart makes his virtual YouTuber debut.
He's
So,
getting a lot of love lately. Like he's singing.
So I have to wonder, the person who's in charge of doing it can't be his team, right? It's got to be like maybe some time and money was spent getting the model built, but it's got to mostly be just one guy doing this. And it just seems to me like this is a gimmick. Like they've got to be building up to something, right? Otherwise, why would they even bother to do this kind of thing? But it just seems to me like this is going to fizzle out so quick, and then I'm just going to wonder how long it'll take before they abandon this, you know?
So far this year, this is like, of all the Fist of the North Star characters, the Year of the Heart. We've seen them in different advertisements. We've seen the creator make him skinny in Bishonen.
Right.
I think he has his own. I doubt this, but I could have sworn that he had like his own liquor that we talked about.
Yeah, no, we've talked about him a lot for sure. He's definitely come up a lot. So you're right, he's getting a lot of love. I'm wondering what's behind that. Like, why is he all of a sudden getting all of this? Why is he all of a sudden getting all this attention? Because this, in order to do this, like it seems to me like this is a authorized production by the rights holders of Fist of the North Star. And my question is, why would they spend money doing this? Are they going to be promoting something? You know, is there going to be a new Fist? Is it because of the video game? Is it a way to ride the waves of things to branch between announcement to announcement? Like, why are they doing it? I'm just cleaning
now, if you watch Fist of the North Star, either the movie or the show, this guy is like Raditz from Dragon Ball Z. He's not there for that long. However, in Fist of the Blue Sky, I'm not sure how much of a character he is in that, but who knows?
Well, Fist of the Blue Sky is a good guess because that is a new thing coming out now that is in 3D. They might have actually taken the model from Fist of the Blue Sky. That's a good observation, actually. In order to do the virtual YouTube stuff with him. Boy, my screen is dirty. Sorry, I'm just wiping it down. You guys can't see it though because I have the screen share on. Anyway, I just keep looking at different things thinking it's part of the artwork, and then I scroll and it stays where it was. Anyway, all right. So yeah, I think it's a little interesting, and I wonder where this is going to go. Crunchyroll has a article here about a One Piece statue going to be unveiled in the creator's home prefecture. So that's kind of this really shows you the cultural phenomenon that is anime or manga rather, or both, if you want to put it that way, these are the things that get immortalized in Japan, you know? And it's a very, when you look at Japanese culture on the surface and you look at how reserved and quiet and all that they tend to be, and then you realize that their entire culture, pop culture, is all video games and comic books and cartoon shows. Yeah, it's just such an interesting phenomenon to look at. And unfortunately, we don't have an image of the statue yet because it's not been unveiled. But last thing here I want to talk about, another fuck you YouTube thing here going on. Well, also Shogakukan. So Shogakukan is hunting down manga spoiler posters on YouTube. So even in Japan, where manga is readily available and doesn't require translating, manga piracy is a major problem. Yeah, most of the manga we get here that are scanlations are scanned from people who bought them in Japan and put them online. Most recently, Japanese readers have taken to YouTube to propagate manga scans, or rather pieces of them, in a method which YouTube has now deemed illegal. So this is why I'm bringing this up, because this is definitely going to blow up to more than they're making it out to be right now, and is going to hurt the online anime community and may actually knock some people out of it, get their channels banned or whatever, like get them scrubbed from the platform because of a new legal thing that's come out here that is, again, I think totally bullshit. But manga titles such as Shogakukan's Ushijima the Loan Shark have been propagating on the video sharing platform as spoiler videos, in which video creators will upload key moments or major events. But instead of scanning the pages, now this is important here, instead of scanning the pages, they isolate the speech bubbles. Okay? So these spoiler videos convey the new issue story without using copyrighted art, enabling viewers to follow the story without purchasing the manga while video makers avoid copyright strikes. I have to say, if you don't give a shit about the manga and you just want to follow the story on somebody's YouTube channel, I don't think that you're going to bother to buy the fucking manga if they ban the YouTube videos. Does that seem weird to anybody else?
That's a very different audience.
Well, they could easily just go online and get a summary of it, is what I have to say for the spoiler thing. But
It's like, this is getting close to basically banning you from talking about popular culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's ridiculous. So a case was brought before Tokyo District Court yesterday by Shogakukan, claiming that these spoiler videos still violate copyright as they contain licensed material in the form of the manga's written word. Guess the fuck what? All you're going to do is change it so that now, rather than uploading the fucking speech bubbles, they're just going to read it to them. Okay, you're not going to change shit, and that's why this is dangerous.
They're just going to find another way around it.
They're going to find another way
around it. If anything, they're just wasting money.
YouTube will capitulate again. YouTube will capitulate again, and then channels are going to start falling left and right because they talked about manga.
I mean, they can talk about manga without having the manga, but...
that's what I'm saying, is that what's going to happen is they're not going to have the manga in the video, these spoiler videos. Do you really think people are sitting there reading the speech bubbles on a video in order to absorb this? I mean, if the speech bubbles aren't there, the person uploading the video is just going to narrate it. They're just going to make a video telling you what happened. And then those videos are going to get banned.
There's only like one good thing coming out of this, which is those cancer live reactions. Like the only couple that I've had the pleasure to see, they didn't show the actual like manga itself, which is probably for the better, but it was terrible if you're watching it, because it's like, what is this? They're not saying anything. But
yeah, you do realize that this is going to destroy Anime Snob's channel, right? Because all the people he makes videos about are going to be banned off the platform.
Oh.
So back in the day,
wait, before you say it's real quick.
Okay, good.
It's just that those channels, like theoretically, if there was a live react where they say nothing and they do show the pictures, then they're not getting away with freely distributing the entire like chapter or manga, whatever it is. That's the only good I can see coming out of it, but otherwise it's a bit overkill.
So
in some
I'm
cases.
gonna reinterpret this for a minute as another possibility that's actually seems, now that I've reread this. So let me just read this real quick. The court ruled in favor of Shotacon, and YouTube will be asked going forward to disclose the contact information of anyone who makes a spoiler video with or without images, very important, based on one of their properties, so a cease and desist may be issued. Okay, now this was ruled, the court that ruled in favor of Shotacon was the Tokyo District Court. Okay, this is a Japanese court, different legal system. It's very possible that this stuff that they're saying here about, even in Japan where manga is readily available and doesn't require translating, manga piracy is a major problem. It's very possible that they're talking about Japanese YouTubers uploading the kanji things rather than, like, for instance, let me just explain real quick. Now, first of all, the Japanese companies, they fucking hate anybody who wants to talk about their properties. They hate them. Okay. Everybody in the AniTuber community that I've communicated with, they all suffer from blatant abuses of the copyright flagging system, all sorts of stuff like that. There was something that happened to Chibi Reviews a couple of years ago that just utterly destroyed him as a person for that one video, where he released a video that, as he described, I didn't see the video, but I saw his like help me out video, and he described the video that got flagged as being a video of him sitting on his front porch talking into a camera with no anime clips, no manga, nothing in his hands, literally just talking about the show. And that got him a copyright strike on his channel. Okay, and that's what I'm saying here. That is what they want to do. Okay, this is just like Nintendo making it so that you can't do Let's Plays of their stuff without them taking the ad revenue. Okay, Japanese companies, for some reason, don't realize how much more profitable it is when people get to geek out about the fandoms and get other people interested in their properties. Now, I get where they're coming from here regarding the spoilers and all that, but I'm just saying the people that are in Japan can literally just go to the damn bookstore and read the book and not buy it.
They're pirates.
Like, this is not going to stop anything.
If they have this passed, what's going to be funny is YouTube will follow this word for word. If they're, let's just say this as a theoretical. So if they decide to release a commercial for it, it might get pinged on this new system, as reliable as they are.
No,
copyright flag
it won't, because they aren't going to flag their own stuff. They will flag it if you mirror upload it, meaning you download and re-upload it to another channel. They probably will flag it in that part because they are such control freaks over their properties there. Quite frankly, I'm lucky we have only been hit by Fox. You know, and for the record, everything that I've done on the channel is completely within my legal right. Okay. I'm just saying that they are abusing the system. So I'm protected by the Sullivan Act and the First Amendment in the United States. Okay. So, and fair use, right? I'm completely protected on that, but the Japanese don't see it that way. And they will issue a lawsuit, a cease and desist, followed by a lawsuit to people, because what they are trying to do is intimidate YouTubers into not talking about their products, especially if you have something negative to say about them, right? It is a means, it's like a mafia style intimidation tactic to threaten you with channel termination, right? Now, what may happen is that YouTube may find a middle ground where your videos will just be blocked in Japan. Okay, there's an option. They might do that just simply as a way to prevent more of these abuses coming in from the copyright holders. But we'll just have to see how that goes. All right. So bottom line, this is bad news going forward. So we'll have to keep tabs on it. Do you guys want to go over the Funimation sale?
Yes.
I really don't think it's worth it, but if we can make a quick shirt.
Let's just take a quick look at it.
Like, the best I saw was like Index and Railgun Season 1s that I need to rebuy for like $13.
That's not bad.
Hold on, I gotta go to the shop.
Yeah, even after conversion. If someone would like to make an order on behalf of me and I can pitch in, I'd be down for that. No. Like, some of the bundles are okay, but, you know, I'm not going to buy...
I haven't seen it yet.
Half of One Piece and then other half of One Piece.
So here's what I want to know. Where are those Amazon exclusives for One Piece? Are they ever going to get the next set out?
I don't think they will, and I semi-hope they don't, because I don't want to be waiting in limbo for, is there going to be another one? Like you and...
Yeah, like I am.
I was going to do that, but apparently I have bootlegs.
Yeah. I can't get the subcategories to pop up, which means that I'm stuck looking at everything instead of turning off apparel.
Look, that tracksuit.
I think there's no subcategories because it's in sale. The first, I think it's just the first page that's all the junk. And if you like standard editions...
I mean, I could sort by... God dang it. That's annoying. All right. Yeah, I you bet your ass this stupid thing is on sale.
I think it's like on sale for $100, maybe.
Here's the One Piece bundle here.
That's the second one.
Yeah. Here's the Evangelion movie bundle. Yuri on Ice.
My biggest problem with these bundles is for stuff like Fairy Tail or Dragon Ball Z movies, is I already own some of those, not all of them. So it's like, is this really efficient?
Speaking as somebody who has their own business that sells their own products and does sales, this right here is a effort to try to get rid of these Funko Pops, I bet.
Yeah.
Like, well, can we get them to buy it if we throw in the DVD? You know. Too bad.
Actually, the Dragon Ball Z movies thing is...
I thought this was on Right Stuff. Is this where it was on?
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't have the...
limited editions. The first two are like way off print and kind of pricey on Amazon.ca.
Oh, so there is one for all three.
Yeah, but it's not limited.
Telling me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, there is one for all three.
I thought there was only one for number 3, but I just haven't. I don't know. I've not watched the show. I don't have any idea about it. So,
but the Dragon Ball Z movies, it's like they need a box set because it's actually kind of not expensive, but you're spending a lot just to get all 13 of those movies or whatever it is.
Yeah.
This one right here.
Yeah.
How many
volumes of Fairy Tail are there?
Sorry, what, Augie?
There's like 11 or 12 for the collections.
Sorry,
so 11 or 12 of the big collections, not the skinny.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
He asked about Fairy Tail, how many collections there were.
Okay. I had no idea what you were saying.
Okay, so
would it be worth getting the bundle?
Yeah, if you don't have any of them.
I don't have any of it.
Like I don't thinking, I don't want to
pay this kind of money for it though.
I'm just gonna buy Pat Labor instead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait. Anyway, so continuing on, it looks like we're out of the apparel
of the cancer section.
Yeah. So I might. I'm not paying. That seems like the price it should normally be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's usually how I feel. I don't usually buy stuff on Funimation's site. For that very reason. So,
like for me, Akiba's trip after shipping and frickin' conversion, it's probably going to be the same as Amazon.ca, even though I kind of want it.
Can you hover over Rosetta? Okay.
Buy this Ace Attorney for $30 when season 1 complete is coming out soon. The thing I hate is how there's like a complete collection, for example, of like Eureka 7, and then there's parts 1 and 2 on Amazon that are basically the same price. It's like, come on, reduce it enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes the resellers just don't think. What's Kanjo, the LE, look like right now?
You mean Keijo?
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
that's $30. That's not too bad. The limited editions actually have pretty decent reduction.
This is a thin LE, just for the record. It's not really anything
Right.
special.
It's the only one there is, though.
I have a towel. I need to wipe it with something.
You're gonna wipe the towel with the limited edition?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they give you a towel. You have to wipe the limited edition with that towel.
No, the towel with the limited edition, because the towel is the important
Kitty Girl
part.
and okay, that's not bad.
For which one?
I know it's 30 like it should be, but typically they want to sell it for 50.
Oh, kitty grade.
Kitty Girl but yeah, it's part of
Whoops.
Kitty. Just I don't see anything. Nothing's jumping out at me like this is a steal.
That's what I was talking about. It's like
Yeah.
none of them are big enough reduction. Oh, that
What's
Speed
the
Racer head is a
Zarya?
steal.
Can you hover over the Rosario bundle there?
That's 30.
Okay. How much is the Speed Racer?
109.
109? Okay.
Actually, the Fairy Tale collections that are available on their own are like $20, which doesn't seem too bad to me, unless you guys have way cheaper prices for that for some reason.
The thing is that I know eventually somebody's going to sell the complete collection on eBay for essentially $10 a piece. You know, I might end up with a bootleg, but
Can you look at Orange LE before you continue?
30.
Okay. Probably the same as the other LE that we mentioned earlier.
the LE is the same price as the non-LE. So
That's fine.
Oh yeah, that was fine.
meaning to get Space Patrol Luluco.
I think you should get Space Dandy. Oh wait, you
So-
have it.
I already have
Yeah.
Space Dandy,
Has
but
it twice.
this cover seems problematic.
What, Super Lovers?
How much
Super
is
pet ass.
Real Life combo?
The wholesome love story of Super Lovers? Super Lovers.
I've been meaning
Not
to
just
buy
any
Real
one.
Life, but I don't want to spend
30?
30.
Okay.
You don't want to spend $30. That's like not a steal, but it's good.
But AC Real Life is the main character's our age.
Yeah, he turns into former, like a couple years ago, for me, age. Oh my god, that Danganronpa is such a... Because they have season 1.
Rainbow Days is cheap.
Where you see Danganronpa?
I'm on a different page probably,
Up,
but
up.
I'm just commenting on it. But Danganronpa, you have season 1, and then they decide, oh, the second game was just more torment and whatever, so we're not going to animate. So they skip to the third game. So now it's
And do
Danganronpa
2
3.
different arcs for the third
Right.
that was airing at the same time.
So it's like, how do I buy/watch this?
Organize it by UPC.
No, I know how to through research, but it's just to any casual, like you look at it and it's like, how? Oh, still annoyed that they didn't make a UHD Godzilla release.
And you thought there isn't a girl
Online.
gamer 30 as well?
That wasn't
Okay.
a very good anime, in my opinion.
Oh, hush
But
your mouth.
Record of the Lodos War is a steal, in my opinion, because
Yeah,
for
too bad
some
I already
reason
freaking bought it.
I can't find it for any cheaper than like 75 or 85 bucks
I'm
everywhere.
gonna give you some advice right now. Buy
not that good.
buy it from the Funimation sale because there is a 1-to-1 bootleg on other sites of this set. That's the
Okay.
entire reason why I bought it again from Funimation. I didn't get it for the sale price, unfortunately. I bought it like 2 or 3 weeks beforehand. But
Oh, yeah, Pandora and the Crimson Shell. That's the one that's done by Mamoru Oshii and Koshi Rikto from
think
Excel
that's
Saga fame.
I think it's a Yuri question mark.
It is. And ride.
Momotaro.
I did buy the free movie collection premium off Right Stuff because that went on sale.
I need to get free eventually. That's like the only disco funny title I don't have. And I'll be current with discotheque titles.
I'm just trying to keep up with the LEs that I've already started collecting.
Gotcha.
I'd almost want to say get Heavy Object, but I only see one of the collections and it's $30 when there's a complete collection that just came out.
Yeah.
Italian, Attack on Titan Season 1. I should probably get these. I just don't want to. I'm going to wait.
I need to catch up with...
Eventually, I'll get these used for like $5, so...
I need to catch up with the Sengoku Basara because they only have seasons 1 and 2, and they have like a movie in this third season, and I think a fourth season that just aired.
There's kind of a fourth season, but I would say spin-off. It's all the characters in high school right now.
Oh, that's a fifth
I mean to get into
spin-off.
It. Oh, well, shows you how much I know.
And it's by Sentai this time, so I don't
has
know.
A movie. I didn't know that.
Oh, Heaven's Lost Property apparently has a second movie that we never got over here, just by the way.
I know. I've been bugging Funimation for a while about that.
I'm just going to import that one.
A couple of random shirts.
Okay, what of Black Butler do they still have? Season 3 in the OVA?
Live action movie.
Oh yeah, season 3 is on the expiry list already.
Ah, crap. I don't know if I have that one. Hold on.
I think you said you didn't have it when I mentioned that before.
Oh, I have them in the wrong order.
So there, aside from the live action movies, are there 4 different collections?
Oh, no. It says 2 OVA. Okay, so I have Book of Murder, and I have...
Do you have 3?
Oh, no, I do have the thing that we have moused over. I have 3 boxes, yes. And then I don't have Book of the Atlantic is what I'm missing. That's what I'm missing. Okay. Is that one going
season
print?
3.
They're eventually going to.
Book of the Atlantic is what's left after season 1 and 2.
Book of the Atlantic is the movie.
Because I know Aniplex released news that they're going to release Black Butler complete this January.
Oh, I saw that. When I saw that price, I'm like, yeah, secondhand Funimation is probably cheaper.
Can you scroll over Railgun S? I'm expecting 30, but
it's like 13.
Hey,
oh wait,
hey, 20.
We're almost through this. We'll get into Haunted Junction soon. I don't know if anybody's even watching right now. I think it's just us. Oh, 4 viewers. Somebody is there. Hello, person who's there.
You are a special individual and is well cherished amongst the land of us 3.
So this is the uncut. Yeah, it's $16.99.
Wow, that's not bad.
Here's the Railgun S Part 2.
Oh, so it's Part 1, Part 2 then.
Yeah, that's what they're
wait. Oh, yeah, there's a complete one somewhere.
Actually, the one we were just looking at, I think, was the complete one.
Oh,
because it had the bar at the top. I think this is a DVD.
It is. It was so annoying the way they released those because it's like DVD limited edition Part 1 and 2. Then they had S DVD only. Then they had Index 2 Blu-ray DVD combo pack. It's like, ugh, just had to ruin that, didn't you?
All right, so we are on the last page here.
As tempting as those Dragon Ball prices are, it's still like they're probably gonna have a Blu-ray. Oh yeah, did we ever share that article about how Dragon Ball season, like original Dragon Ball, is getting a Blu-ray in Spain or something?
Yeah, well, we didn't share, but we talked about it. So we didn't, I don't know about that article regarding Spain, but we had talked about it and we had speculated that finally we might get Blu-ray over here of it, which would be nice, just so I can actually open something. I haven't opened these ones because my orange brick sets have taken a beating over the years. So I've not opened my.
That's one of the reasons I didn't want the orange brick sets as well.
Well, I bought them as they were coming out when I was much younger. But I don't know. I know that the orange brick sets have been bootlegged. I don't know if my copies of the blue brick sets have been bootlegged, but I don't want to. I'd rather not know at this point. Anyway, so you guys ready to talk about Haunted Junction?
Haunted Junction.
As ready as I can get.
All right. So before I forget, the one thing I want to say about this show is I find it very funny how the title is written, because Haunted is written in English and Junction is written G with the small ya, so jung, it's basically what you'd expect the English word to be written as, but it's written in hiragana instead of katakana, which is unusual. So I'm not sure why they did that, but it's a weird show. So what do you guys think about it?
I'll go first this time because I'm probably the only one that thought of it as a positive. I enjoyed it. I wish there was a dub for this one, not sub, but
me too. That's partially why I didn't finish
for a gag.
As well.
Would have made it a lot easier to get through.
What I found interesting was our main cast of 3. Typically, there would be the other gender or show, the main character with a strong head, had the slightly perverse one and the grabby one.
Speaking of the character design real quick, there was kind of a major mistake, I think, in design, in that the main girl, whose hair normally looks like this, let me see. Looks remarkably like this other character that also has the exact same color hair. And you know that they're not the same person when this character has got the underboob outfit on, but anytime they wear the same uniform, right? But you know this character because of the underboob thing. But anytime they're in a costume, I forgot which one I was looking at. And it kept going back and forth. So that was another reason why the voice, if they had done a dub, would have been easier to follow, because you would know based on the voice rather than, kind of ignoring most of the voice and trying to get through the subtitles, which are harder to, differentiate through when you're reading text. So that was a complaint I have about it. I will also say that one of the things about the show, and for the record, it's not this show's fault. When did this show come out, by the way? I was really shocked to see.
This was made in 97.
I
know that much, but
it
released
feels older than that, but that does seem right. So
the art style is like 93, animated in 97. I thought that was strange.
My problem with the show, which I'm sort of nitpicking here, but the thing about the show is that it has a unique premise, but everything about it other than that is very generic. They've got like the in the very first episode, they get all the talisman, which is, thank God I didn't sit through 4 episodes.
I was thinking that would be like the entire show that we'd have to see 7 episodes of
but it actually they get done with it,
laugh out of that.
And then when they keep, there's one of the gags, to give you an example, is that when they need to call forth the spirit from the talisman, they keep calling forth the Psyduck character, basically. Right? That's what I mean by it's a gag that has been done in other things better, right? And there were a lot of other stuff, and then there were stuff you just don't want to see, like this character having a thermometer in his asshole that gets launched out of his ass and into the mouth of another character. Okay, I'm just saying, I don't really want to see that. Okay,
I don't think I've seen that far, so I guess I've been spared.
That was episode 3.
That was episode 6. That was or 7. That was on disc 2.
That's exactly the episode I haven't seen yet.
Yeah,
I thought I'll have my balls off.
one of the
Because
things
it was one of those.
Good.
For the setup for that scene, they do a lot of domino calamity scenes where it ends up being characters about to do something bad, but turns out another character countered, like the blue-haired guy, Ryoji, leaps and tries to grope Hanako-chan's breast, the boob.
Toilet Hanako?
Toilet Hanako?
Yes.
It wasn't
Toilet
that
Hanako.
Yamiko? Wasn't her name Yamiko?
Toilet Yamiko.
Yeah, I think we're talking about
No time.
See, again, yeah, this
So
there's
he tries to leap in for the grope. Turns out the older spirit, the school chairman, which is the only name you have for this guy, was sitting there mooning him while having the girl mooning him with his butt being the breasts.
yeah.
I forgot how the thermometer happened.
That actually happened right before the episode where the thermometer thing happened. They were doing a okay, let me come back to this in a minute. So back to things about the show. Other things that should be pointed out is that this character is a Shotaro complex.
I loved that about her. I'm like, whoa, what?
Yeah,
Whoa,
no,
what?
it's very out there. Like it you don't expect it, and it's like they go. They don't go. I wouldn't say they go uncomfortably far with it, but I'll just say that if they did the same thing with a male character that had a Lolita complex, it would have made you uncomfortable, right? But
I forget which anime I've watched that has a guy that does that. It's like, if she's not 12, she's no good. I found whichever show that was funny.
Oh,
there's
Excel
a
Saga
character
did
in
that.
Excel Saga that does that, and
The
then in the
professor.
final episode, the Lolly character is revealed to actually have enormous breasts. Anyway, yeah, there's a character in the funny thing about the Excel Saga one is, if I recall correctly, the guy is actually completely innocent of all the things that they seem to make him out to be. No, I guess they don't, because then he runs away because the character turns out to.
Well, that last episode,
anyway. Good.
That last episode, he turns out to be as bad, so it kind of ruins the whole point of that.
Well, that last episode almost feels non-canonical. The way I joke about Excel Saga is that it seems like every episode is parodying a genre of anime, and the final episode is parodying hentai. That's how I describe it. It's not an accurate description, but it gets the point across.
Well, it was banned off. It was banned from broadcast.
So anyway, let me get back to what we were talking about. So the thing about this is that it's very different from what you expect. Like you actually messaged us, FDDNM, saying halfway through this show, it's still not the show I expected. Like, and I still don't know where it's going. It's totally out there. It's a very crazy, weird show. I had already seen it, so I didn't actually bother to go through and rewatch everything. Because it didn't, like I said, it didn't hold my interest the first time, it didn't hold my interest that much the second time. But there are some things about it that are interesting in terms of the choices that were made. And one of the things is getting back to what you were talking about the breast become the one guy's ass. Was that was from the scene where they were competing over who was sexier,
and then her clothes dissolve, and then they're like,
this ridiculous premise about them competing over who is sexier. And up until that point, this character has not been. You makes so much noise on that desk when I'm trying to show stuff. This character hasn't really been. What's the proper word for this? She hasn't acted very slutty, if I can, and I'm using that word because this character is a total slut. Okay, they call her Toilet Yamiko. I'm pretty sure she's Yamiko.
It is Yamiko. I watched it recently enough.
Okay, so they call her Toilet Yamiko because she's like the slut that is banging everybody in the bathroom, right? Is the thing. But this character's not really slutty. And then this was the character that ended up wearing the body paint swimsuit, wasn't it? Like, and that's
No,
what
I
I
thought
mean.
that
Is
was
that,
Yamiko.
see, you can't follow it because they gave them the same freaking hair color. So you see them swimming and their hair's all wet. How the fuck am I supposed
First
to know
off,
who I'm looking at?
it's obviously Yamiko that's doing it because she was in the competition to be the school toilet ghost because she was competing with another toilet ghost at the time.
But before you see that, the body paint swimsuit is just a school swimsuit. The previous person they show you is wearing one that's all like laced up from the side, so you see like half like the skin on, and it's like, this is the slutty outfit. And it's like, but wait, there's more. You know, like that's how they kind of treat it. So it's hard to follow who is who, and it's a bizarre show. I'm not saying it's not a show worth seeing, but you don't need to sit through all 12 episodes to get the experience of watching the show.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You can watch this loosely. You can technically watch the first episode and the last episode for a quote-unquote story, but
It's episodic.
kind of.
I did love that scene though, because it's like her body paint came off and the chairman was like, quick, cameraman, get on it.
Get up on those breasts, and then it turns out to be his ass. Yeah. And then this character, tuxedo mask over here, red mantle, tried to sell his socks to a bunch of girls.
I like that episode too, because it's like, wow, my creations are coming to...
I think there were too many characters because of the.
It's too many characters, but it
Brad,
was a
you don't
gag,
even know
and they
what to
kind of
say.
did the whole Sentai complex.
I'm just trying not to open up a can of worms about the. Okay, I'm trying really hard. How many talisman were there? There were 7, right, or 8?
7 talismans.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just say they were basing the talisman off of the tree of life of the Jewish Kabbalah. And I know that for a fact, not only because of the number and arrangement, but because it has the quote unquote Star of David that is actually a symbol that represents the tree of life in the Jewish Kabbalah, because there are 3 pillars. There's, we were sort of discussing this earlier about left-hand path, right-hand path, and then there's the center, right? And the pillar on the one hand is the right side up triangle. The pillar on the other hand is the upside down triangle. And when you put them together, you get this symbol that is not the Star of David. It's never actually meant that. That's just what, after they formulated the nation of Israel, they started claiming it was. So there's a lot sort of under the hood of this that I don't think they was literally like researched literally to the point of, I want to make a really pervy, weird gag show that I'm going to make about the occult, but in actuality, it's just Japanese ghost stories. And it was just bizarre. It was a weird thing to watch. And it's also, it's attached to the crescent it's weird. Like it feels like somebody is putting all this deep symbology into the show, but he only comes to the meetings once every month when it came to making the show. So it's just really weird because it felt like there was some influence that they were actually pulling from, and then everything else was just Ranma half type comedy, you know? I don't know. I don't have much to say about it. It's a bizarre show. I don't know how to describe it other than that. It was a weird watch.
Well, for my
when I rewatched it, but I was even more confused.
For my 6 episodes of experience, my only real major issue with it is how, like I've said a couple times, it's episodic, so there's nothing to really like get you through that. It's like nothing to follow that intrigues you. You're just like, okay, what's going to happen next? But this was so chaotic with all the random things that happened that you couldn't predict what was coming next. And I will say, though, that I got a laugh out of it, and there were some things that I just thought were, I don't know, really kind of clever. But
I think the easiest way to sum up the show is to say that it seems as though it's a kind of a laid back watch, but it's a laid back watch you have to read subtitles through, which automatically takes out the laid back aspect. People. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yes,
Is that a good way of putting it? That again, we've already stated. If this had a dub, it would be very watchable, and you could get through it easily. You wouldn't. I just something about it. It was hard to come back to because
I know
again,
exactly what you mean.
Not being able to easily differentiate characters, it felt like that alone made the story something I don't want to say I dreaded coming back to it each day leading up to now, but I just didn't feel invested in it because it wasn't something that I felt like I was able to enjoy properly, meaning that it comes across as a very laid back gag show, but I can't enjoy it that way because I'm stuck reading subtitles and not being able to follow it again because of character design choices and whatnot, which I can't believe they would make a mistake like that, design wise.
Well, for me, anyway, I for some reason didn't have any trouble with the characters, but I did feel exactly what you did. Like, I didn't have any motivation to come back to it. And you're exactly right in describing it's like it's supposed to be a laid-back show, but I couldn't be laid back because I had to concentrate so hard on the subtitles and everything happening. It's like Lucky Star, kind of, in first episode. I'm like, oh my God, they're still talking about like how to eat this whatever.
Right, but if you watch it dubbed, it just that scene flies by.
Because, like, don't get me wrong, I did like some of the fun things that happened, but it's like I had to work so hard to experience that fun.
I made sure while watching this I was in that right type of mood, especially at the beginning, because I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
It still throws me off that something made in 97 would use something that was totally 93. Like even the theme song to me reminded me of like a variant of Shanice. I like it when you smile.
The manga dates back to 96. Right, no, hold up.
That's only a year before.
I was going to say the manga went from 96 to 2001. The anime got started and ended in 97.
Wow. So another stab at it would be it's one of those that starts up, but the manga didn't finish.
Well, I want to look at the character designs in the manga and just see because the thing about manga
show it on stream though, you'll get copyright struck.
The thing about manga, thank you for reminding me, is that design wise, you see stuff in black and white for the most part, but obviously they do colors for the covers. So you like it's almost more important in manga because pretty much any character who doesn't have light hair is going to look the same. You know what I mean? So I'm just checking it out real quick.
So one plot hole that was mentioned in earlier episodes, but in later episodes it doesn't come up, which you'd think it would be, especially is the chairman mentioned that I forgot the character's name, but the Christian one keeps using the badges way too often. That
the list of the cast is on the back. Haruto Hokujo, Mutsuki Asahina. They have 3 names, and then Hanako's name showed up, and it's just Hanako-san.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it is. Maybe Hanako is. We're looking this up. I gotta get this answered about the toilet thing.
All right, go to Mal and quickly cheat.
Maybe Hanako-san is what?
Because it doesn't have a first and last name for Hanako, and it's the 4th person on the list. Maybe it is actually Toilet Hanako.
Well, why wouldn't it be? There was no other Hanako.
Because I thought Yamiko. We were just talking about this.
What about Yamiko?
They're 2
Yamiko
separate.
was. Yeah, they are. Yamiko was named that because darkness. Yami.
Now I've totally lost my mind here. So Hanako was the toilet person, but I remember now in the episode there was a first of all there was another character named Hanako that wasn't the other one, that wasn't Toilet Hanako. But her name is being like the kanji or whatever is being written wrong or whatever. I remember there being something about, they made a thing about her having bad handwriting, so they were mispronouncing her name. And then there's like a whole episode about her being called the wrong thing. And I was thinking that was the other character's name that apparently I didn't even know, because her name's Asahina Mutsuki. Again, it was hard to follow. That's all I can say about it.
The last 2 episodes are kind of it's one of those where something finally happens. In those episodes?
Okay.
Refresh my spoiler.
The what do you call it? The Exorcist comes in and takes and finally rids Haruto's spiritual problems.
Okay.
But a plot from episode 1, because of the different churches forming a triangle, keeping the spiritual school strong and being spirit-like. Like kind of nulls what the guy's doing. So it sets up a point of tension, but kind of quickly relieves as the episode 12 ends. And Haruto learns friendship. I don't think we have anything else to say.
Subverted the expectation a bit. There's a lot of male bondage in it. With not Haruto. What's the other guy's name? Kazumi.
Actually, I loved how is that the guy who is really easy to possess? I loved that.
Yeah, he kept getting possessed by the dog and whatnot.
He got possessed by literally everything. A mouse.
Well, he was possessed by a female spirit. He wanted to sleep with this one guy.
I thought that was a really weird but funny gimmick for his character.
Well, the creator is a fan of Ranma, so what do you expect?
It shows. Here, I'll give you guys.
I think you don't like Ranma, AC.
No, I didn't say I didn't like Ranma. I'm just saying it. You can see the influence. This is what I was talking about.
Oh.
Like it's really anyway.
Oh yeah, that's when he keeps getting punched by Blue Mantle.
Don't spoil.
If there's a red ogre, there's going to be a blue ogre. And spoiler, they're not ogres. So there you go.
Blue Mantle was the sister, right?
Yes, the younger sister. Red Mantle was the older brother.
So, okay, I can't screen share this because of the manga stuff showing up, but I searched Haunted Junction on Google image search to pull up that previous one. Just below that is a picture of the DVD cover for Sentimental Journey, which we'll watch for our next podcast. That is weird. Dude, there's a PlayStation game for Haunted Junction.
Huh. Oh, yeah, there's also a PlayStation 2 game for Gregory Horror Show, if we're going to go
I know
that route.
one, yeah.
Also a card game for some reason.
Isn't there a Sakura Wars one for like the Wonder Swan, or am I thinking of a different console?
Probably.
Oh yeah. I just want to view this damn image. Copy address. There we go. Paste and go. All right. Yeah. So here's the. This looks
more like a show.
Yeah, it looks like a. This makes me think of what's that guy's name?
Salad Finger.
What's the
Joey
guy?
Wheeler?
Joey, yeah, Joey Wheeler.
Man.
It looks like it's for that. Is it?
Almost looks like Shaman King-ish to me. Man, I wish that would get a re-release.
It looks like that would be for that really dated console that, like, I think it was the Sega one that just started to do
Saturn.
Dreamcast?
Yeah, that one. It looks like that would be for the Dreamcast, that type of cover. I don't know.
I'm looking up real quick there's like nothing on the Wikipedia. This is ridiculous. Yeah, okay. There's almost nothing. From Studio Dean. The anime produced by Bandai Visual and Studio Dean aired between
Studio Dean did at least some of Ranma. So maybe
this says
they did the first season of Ranma, then it swapped over to Kitty. Technically, the first season of Ranma was canceled. Then the second season picked up, which is strange because you had the skating characters in the first season of Ranma, but showed up in the second season.
What? Why is that weird that they came in the second season as well?
No, they finally had their episode in the second season, but they kept showing up in the first season. Gotta animate that whole Kane's a hick, she's thick as a brick rap scene.
Oh God, bringing back those memories. Yeah, the first season was 18 episodes. Like, it was canceled, and that's why it's a weird number.
Yep,
I guess.
And Kitty Films, not to be confused with
Kitty Media or whatever from
MediaWorks
or Anime Works, which not to be confused with the Japanese company MediaWorks.
MediaWorks,
which actually worked on the Haunted Junction thing.
Are you sure that Kitty did the rest of them?
Kitty Media is the American company. Yeah. So MediaWorks was the says the manga was serialized in the monthly manga magazine Dengeki Comic Gao by MediaWorks from 1996 to 2001 regarding Haunted Junction.
Wikipedia says that it's all Dean, I think, for Ranma.
No, I'm talking about for Haunted Junction. I'm just. Oh, you mean for the animation?
Well, remember, you have to use different
a
titles
producer.
when looking up Ranma.
Well, now that we're talking about Ranma, let's talk about Sentimental Journey and what we're going to be doing for the next podcast. Disc 1 contains episodes 1 through 6. Disc 2 contains episodes 7 through 12. This is really heavy.
That's what I know.
It's one of the cases that has this thing in it. That's why it's so heavy. Because this is actually heavier than this bigger case, I think.
I hate that bigger case. Passion.
Yeah.
I don't mind
it. Just to show you guys, it's a 2-disc case, but it's one of the ones where it opens like this, and then the other disc is just like Y, Anyway, adds variation. So
it's just hard to replace.
Next podcast, we're going to be watching Sentimental Journey. Around this time last year, we watched a title called Seraphim Call, and I guess Augie and I we've had both of these for a long time, and we constantly get them confused. In fact, I literally got confused about this today before we started, I think. But
to get them confused, they're released at the same time, and they typically cost the same price.
Yeah, so we decided we were going to get this one out of the way, too, so we could have seen both of them. So I'm hoping it's as good as Seraphim Call, because that came out of nowhere and was so good compared to how it just looks like this crappy generic show,
Oh yeah, and both of them are sub-licensed by D Rights.
And both of them are compilations. This one is 12 stories of romance and unrequited love, and that one was, God knows what they were doing there, but it was just a weird thing too. So it's just weird. But we're gonna be watching this. Also, it says fan favorite. Sentimental Journey is the tale of 12 beautiful young girls that have left love in their past. As each of them tries to cope with life and their daily struggles, they are constantly reminded of what they have lost. Well, it sounds like a real upper, doesn't it? But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So that podcast is going to be on December 13th, I want to say. That doesn't sound right. 12th? Hold on, I got to pull it up. That is going to be, December 13th. Sentimental Journey. All right. And then for the podcast on December 27th, we're going to be watching Your Mungand, and we're going to be watching both. So I think it's going to be a 26 episode discussion that time. So if you need more time, I would get a jump on it after watching this if you want to be involved in our discussion. Anyway, we will see you guys then. Thank you for stopping by, and we'll see you on the 13th. Take it easy.
See you then.